Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett. Welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where, well, we're basically always asking the question, what the actual F? And this morning, we're covering day 2 of the Kelsey Fitzsimmons trial that is happening in Lawrence, Massachusetts. And we are going to be getting into the cross examination of the alleged victim in this case, Officer Noonan. Yesterday, we saw most of the direct, and it was a little wonky, and we have a lot to discuss, but we're going to discuss that on the other side of a quick break. Good morning, everybody. We are back. As some of you know, Rebecca is on vacation, so I'm here solo with y'all. And if you were here yesterday, you saw me multitasking quite a bit and trying to keep my shit together. I'm going to keep trying to do that today. A couple of housekeeping things right at the top. Some of you have said that you have joined as a member of the channel, but I think some of you are hitting the subscribe button, which we love. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. But the membership is a two-tiered thing. So once you click join on the main page, you then have the option of choosing which tier you want to be in. So that's I've been checking membership for a couple of people, and it looks like people are getting confused between subscribe and join. So I know it's weird. Subscribe means that you are subscribed to our videos, our channel. Anytime something new comes out, you see it in your main feed. Joining the channel is, like I said, a membership level. I think the prices are $2.99 and $5.99. Don't quote me on that. Pretty sure that's what it is. The Are You Fucking Kidding Me tier, and then the What tier gets you access to member only lives, AMAs. You get colorful little codes and badges in the chat. Obviously, we really appreciate our members and want to celebrate them, so we try to, I hate to say it this way. We try to handle their comments and the things that they have to say a little bit higher than other people. That's so weird to me. I hope that it doesn't feel that way to you, because we understand that not everybody can be a member. So I try to communicate with everybody, but we do take the members' comments first, I think. So become a member. It's a good time. Plus, you get a 15% membership code for our merch store. So 15% off your orders. All of that's on the main page of YouTube. God, I feel like a salesperson. I'm so sorry, you guys. I hate this. But if Rebecca were here, she'd be giving you her public radio spiel, and I wouldn't have to be doing this. But we do appreciate the super chats. We do appreciate the memberships, because it does help us keep this channel going. Yesterday, we were on for almost 7.5 hours, which I have to give kudos to all the other YouTubers out there who sit on these trial streams. I chose to do Kelsey's case because I knew it was going to be, maybe only like a week-long trial, so I could try this, and see how it felt. Yesterday was great. I really enjoyed it, but it is a lot of work. You know, Oftentimes we're sitting here and we're watching the trial together, and then I'm jumping in with comments. We pause, we talk about things. We talk over things during breaks and lunches and things like that. So it was a it was an interesting long day for me, and my brain was completely frazzled by the time I was done with it, but I absolutely loved it. So I hope you all loved, hanging out too, and being here. I know there are a lot of other YouTubers who are covering the trial for Kelsey, and so you have a lot of options, and I don't want to compete with any other YouTubers who are, in this sort of same theme that we talk about, which is true crime and trials and things like that. I know you have a lot of options. Go get your opinions, go watch every other streamer, but just come and pop in here with us every once in a while. We really appreciate it. I know that Melanie Little has been covering the stream. I know the Defense Diaries have covered the stream. or covering the trial. They're both really great commentators, and they come at it from a legal perspective. Obviously, we are more of an opinion channel. I am not a lawyer. I'll say that right off the top. Although it looks like on our private Facebook group, which is the Something's Off with Mel Barrett and Rebecca Lavoie discussion group on Facebook, I guess some of our members are trying to, or suggesting they should raise some money for me to go to law school. I've honestly thought about it. I would love to be a criminal defense attorney. Um, I think my history would help me be a good attorney for criminal defendants or defendants in any case. But that's a lot. That's a lot of schooling, and I don't know if I have time for that. I'm 50, y'all. I'm 50. I don't know if I have time for that. But yeah, and Lawyer You Know is Amanda brought this up. Lawyer You Know is doing recaps every night. Um and he hasn't yeah, she's saying, let me read what Amanda said. Lawyer You Know is doing recaps, but he has not studied the case first, which gives always gives a unique spin in his commentary, for sure. Um and I love him. I love Peter Tragos and I love Big George, his dad. I often find myself aligned with Big George, so that makes me feel good about what I have to say about these cases because I trust and respect that man. But yeah, go check out Lawyer You Know for recaps. Let me give you a little breakdown of what is happening today for me. I'm planning so I have appointments that I can't get out of around noon, going to 1:30. So I'm hoping that's where we're gonna be at a lunch break, give or take maybe the back end or the front end. So I'm gonna be coming back on. I'm gonna be leaving at like quarter till noon and then coming back at like 1:45. So there's gonna be like an hour and a half break there for us. I'll keep the stream going though, in case you want to sit and watch it here, which is great, fine by me. And then I'll jump back on around 1:45. So just to give you a heads up about what's happening. And then I think what I'll do is if we miss any of the trial, I'll probably back it up. And so we'll be a little bit behind the live trial and then we can, maybe we can put it in a higher speed, we'll figure it out. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that that's what the plan is. Thanks to all the tippers who came in yesterday while I was streaming. That gave me a big jolt of endorphins to keep it going. I really appreciate it. If you want to tip, at the bottom of the screen, you will find the Venmo and the Cash App. For those of you who cannot use Venmo or Cash App, there's also a PayPal, which is on the main page of our YouTube. And while you're here right now, if you're feeling it, go and like the video so we can get it moved up in the algorithm. Okay, lots to talk about from yesterday if you weren't here. Oh, let me look at the comments really quick. Hold on. Hold on. Good. Thanks for becoming a member, Lara. I appreciate you. Glad you're back, Wild West Willie. Glad you were here yesterday. Jody is only halfway through yesterday. Catch up. Let's see. Everybody give a shout out and a round of applause to Amanda, Planner Girl, Amanda, who does our chapters for us. She was quick too. She got the chapters done on my 7+ hour stream yesterday. So I've added those to the video. And I just so appreciate it because I don't have the time to do it and it helps me out tremendously. So everybody show some love for Amanda in the chat. Let's see. Can't get rid of the forward, back, and pause button in the middle of your screen. What? I don't know what that means. I'm not seeing it. Sorry. Let's see. D, lawyer life. So you went and got your law degree at 40 and you were pregnant in your last year, and that's amazing. Any woman who does like major life moments while they're also pregnant, I'm astounded by you. I remember so most of you know I'm a tennis player. I'm a huge Serena Williams fan. Serena Williams played the Australian Open final pregnant and won. And she played it against her sister. I mean, I don't have children. I don't have biological children. I'm a bonus parent of two teenage girls, which is sometimes challenging. But I am always so amazed that my partner gave life from her body. It's just and then you guys do all the regular stuff you normally do in your regular everyday life while you are creating life out of your body. You're amazing. I applaud you. All of a sudden that you got your law degree. It's crazy. I know, this is so funny. This is sort of like a backhanded comment, and I appreciate it. Simna said, "I like the slower speed of the chat here. You get a chance to read everybody's comments. The reason it's slow is because we don't have as many people here." But I also appreciate the slow chat. I would feel bad if it was, like, flying by. I hope to get to that point where we can have the chat fly by, and then I can slow it down and go back and read everybody's comments, but it's a little bit easier to communicate and hang out with everybody because the chat's a little bit slower. Um, Cynthia, I enjoy Laura, and Melanie, but I like watching with non-attorneys. I like viewing the trials almost from the view of a juror, even though we know way more info than the jurors ever do. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love a lawyer's perspective during a trial. That always makes me happy, and it helps me understand. Peter Tragos and Melanie Little have helped me, and Emily D. Baker have helped me understand so much more about our legal system, and I'm so appreciative of them, I have to say. Um, Thanks for the like, Melissa. Let's see. My oldest baby turned 29 yesterday. I don't feel that old. You're not that old. I suppose, yeah, I could have a 29-year-old as well. Yeah, we're not old. No, we're not old at all. Court does start at 9. I have the feed up here, and we're just looking at the brick wall and the American flag. So I will jump in when we go live. Um oh, Ofo show. You'll get there, Mel, and the rest of us will be like, I was here when, and I hope you'll be there then too. Um The struggle is Teal also got their law degree at 40. They were not pregnant. And she said, I can't imagine doing it while pregnant or with kids. Mad kudos to you, D. I love this judge. I love Carp. I think he's very balanced. I think it was the absolute right decision for Kelsey to do a bench trial. I think when you have two cops who are in a room and it's a he said, she said situation about who pulled the gun on whom and who shot who first, I think a jury would have gotten extremely emotional about this, and they would have made a ruling based on their emotions, and I think the judge is going to be very, deliberate and balanced, I hope, anyway. But speaking of that, yesterday when we were watching the direct of Officer Noonan, who is the alleged victim in this case, the one who shot Kelsey, there's a lot of, I mean, we're sitting here almost like a jury. There's a lot of emotion in it. My hair's crazy. There's a lot of emotion in it, and there's a lot that we know that the judge also knows, which I think is very interesting about this being a bench trial. My emotions definitely got involved when Justin was on the stand and when Noonan was on the stand, and I was picking apart Noonan's testimony about how this, it was it credible? Is he credible? Like, how could this have possibly happened in such a tiny space? But I think at the end of the day, the bottom line here is a judge has to determine whether he thinks his testimony is credible. So let me hear from you, chat. What did you get from, and I know it's difficult to separate our confirmation bias and our passion about this case, but let me know your opinion. Do you think the judge can you think the judge can determine whose story is right so far? Do you think that Noonan is coming off as a credible witness to the judge? Um, I feel like I'm gonna lose my voice today. We'll see what happens. So don't mind me if I'm like chugging Diet Coke and coffee and water and all the things. I always have like 6 drinks next to me. Sarah said, wait a second, I'm so inspired by this because I thought I was too old to go back and get my law degree at 42. Absolutely not. And you know what? I think your 40s up is when you start to realize like you really are like hopefully a well-formed human being who has enough life experience to be able to make solid decisions about your life going forward and to have perspective that a lot of other people don't have. And so doing something like going back and getting your law degree in your 40s or your 50s, you are bringing this perspective to it that probably, 20-year-old law students, 25-year-old law students don't have. And so I think it's great. I think you should do it. I don't know how you all had a child at 24. That's how old my biological mother was when she had me, and it is just it's too young. You're a baby and you're having a baby. I mean, you did it, obviously. Kudos, but geez, I can't imagine. I can't imagine at me at 24 having the responsibility of a child. There's just no way. I was a mess. Let's see. Amanda said something lawyer said struck me as interesting that it all comes down to who the judge believes. Like it's simplified. Yeah, that's what I was just actually saying. It sounds very simple, but it totally is not simple at all. Especially in this case. I mean, no one saw what actually happened except for the two people in the room. And my based on my confirmation bias and my history with law enforcement and, seeing and studying and investigating and reporting on true crime, I feel like a cop is always gonna say, "I saw the gun and I shot because I was protecting myself." But I don't know if that's a good enough reason. I mean, he's not a cop is not supposed to shoot somebody who has a gun to their head, as far as I understand it. Let's see. Yeah, I think just try if for those of you who are seeing this thing on my face, which I don't know what it is because 'cause I'm not seeing it, just try refreshing the stream and see if that helps. Um, Simna said, "You are to Sarah, you are never too old to go back to learn something you are interested in. I got my paralegal at 49, had a guy in my class in his 60s doing it just for kicks." I fucking love that. I love that he was there just doing it for kicks. Um, the struggle is Teal said, "Your life experience is your superpower when you start a second, third, etc. career." Agreed. Cindy Lou, I'm feeling the same way about this. Cindy Lou says, I feel like judge can feel something is not right about this. Can't wait for Bradl's cross. Same, sister, same. I'm a little congested this morning. I'm sorry if I'm sniffling into the microphone. I'll try not to do. I'll put myself on mute. Let's see. Jody was 25 when they had a baby. She said, I felt old, but enough. But looking back, I was a baby. You absolutely were a baby. I mean, our brains aren't even fully developed until we're 25. So babies having babies. Cynthia said, "My brother was a photographer his whole life and decided to become an RN at 52." I love that. I think your life I think your perspective changes as you get older too. Maybe you wanna do something that helps other people. Maybe you wanna use your experience to help other people. It sounds like your brother wanted to do that. Although photography does help other people, I will say. The arts help everybody. Let's see. Yeah, I think refreshing. I think everyone there are some people that are seeing the buffering thing on my face and some that aren't. So just refresh and see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, this is a great point. Super planner girl Amanda says, you know what would add some credibility if one of their cop leaders stepped up and said, and now we're going to make sure our employees wear body cams for our safety and yours. They should be wearing body cams. It's 2026, y'all. Come on. Come on. If had been wearing body cams, we wouldn't even be here, you know? And instead, the taxpayers are having to pay for this trial and for Corey to be incarcerated and for all the stuff. I'm Corey. I just said Corey. So many K names. When I was looking through my playlists on this channel, it was like Karen Reed, Corey Richins, Kelsey Fitzsimmons. I have all the K names mixed up in my head. The taxpayers are paying for Kelsey to be incarcerated. Let's see. How is Alien feeling after that video of him running away and not being a man to see if his baby mama is okay? The only thing I can hope about Justin is that Bradl calls him back. I don't know if he will, but I hope he does. And I also know that from a legal perspective, not muddying the waters here and not going down rabbit holes with Justin is the smart thing to do. But for those of us who want to see some drama, we wanted him on the stand a little bit longer. I did see that Justin's father was watching the case on video, TC Nerd. I saw that. I saw, I think one of his sisters, they were outside after they got kicked out, after they were told to leave, didn't leave, and then were finally kicked out by the judge because the audacity of this family. Um, Maria said, "I make a living in the arts and could not be happier." I mean, I also have made my career in the arts, Maria, and then transitioned to, more journalistic writing and investigative true crime stuff. But I still consider it art. I mean, I have to edit, I have to do sound design, I have to create graphics, I have to do a bunch of stuff. So I've always been an artist, and I think that the melding of these two careers has been really great for me. Um, yeah. North Andover does not have to wear body cams right now. I wonder if after this case they will. We shall see. Let's check in on court. Let me pull the court stream up. Trial day 2, and we are streaming this from Boston 10. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, that's a line on the floor. That's a great question, Viva, and I don't know the answer to it. Maybe the chat knows. Does Kelsey have different lawyers for the family court stuff, or do we know anything about that? Cute doggo, by the way. It's a little pitty cattle dog mix, it looks like. Ooh, I so appreciate Maria is a makeup artist living their childhood dream, and I so appreciate that. Makeup artists, y'all do magical work. Magical work. Sorry, I had to cough and I didn't want to do it into the microphone. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. Thanks. Cynthia clarified. Her family court lawyer is Julie Hess. I don't know anything about Julie. Let's take a look at, while we're waiting on court to start, let me pull up yesterday. I want to pull up the end of Noonan's direct and play a little bit of it because there was just so Goobertoes goes through very quickly some of these pictures. I'm not sure why he was focusing so much on these exhibits, the pictures of Kelsey's house. I don't think it helps their case. The more we see these pictures and the layout of the house, the more we understand how tiny this place is and how this should have never happened the way it did. So let's see where I'm at here.
The stairs leading up. The stairs leading upstairs. So right to the right would be the master, and if you took a quick little left, the baby's room.
Okay, so stairwell going up. Left is the baby's room. Right is the master bedroom.
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to say about this is, let me bring that picture back up. I thought this picture was pretty important. That's not it.
Is that the recognize what that is?
Let's go back a little bit.
What that is?
The stairs leading up. The stairs leading upstairs. So right to the right would be the master, and if you took a quick little left, the baby's room.
Do you see how tiny that landing is? And you also see that there's a huge, I have to go back again. At the top of the stairs. At the top of the stairs. Okay, let's start there.
What that is?
The stairs leading up. The stairs leading upstairs. So right to the right would be the master.
Okay. So right is the master, left is the baby's room. At the very top of the stairs is that's a giant gun safe, which takes up most of the landing, which is where Noonan said he was standing in between those two rooms. Do we see how that's an almost impossible situation? Is it just me? Am I crazy?
Little left, the baby's room.
I'm going to show you marked as
Yeah,
exhibit
great
number
point, Amanda.
39.
Noonan is freaking
That's the
gigantic.
one that you were talking about?
Yes.
Quick, he's going quick with these pictures, probably for a reason.
Number 38, recognize what that is?
The baby's room.
Is that the,
Okay, so this would be, he's saying this is the baby's room. Is that true? Hold on.
container, I guess you will, of books that you were talking about earlier at the bottom?
Oh, yes.
So that's the basket of books that she was putting together for the baby.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as exhibit number 49. You recognize what that is?
Okay.
That would
Yeah,
be.
this is a better angle. Okay, so this is the angle from the landing that we just saw, that tiny little space where that giant safe is. Do you see where it says Cochrane? I'm pretty sure that is the safe, right? So the safe is butted up to the door jamb, which means you have to, squeeze past the safe to get into either side door. Noonan says this is pretty much where he was standing. One of the other questions I have is it seems to me like Noonan was sort of positing that I don't know if you can see it in this picture very well, but there's that little pink box right behind the crime scene tape, right behind the chair. He is positing that that's where she grabbed the gun. The gun she had in her hand was her service revolver. Does anyone think a cop would put their gun in that little pink, their service revolver in that little pink box? That seemed weird to me too. Um, and this is supposed to be giant Noonan. This is supposed to be his view into the room. I need to make sure that we are, I think court has probably started. Nope. Wow, we're just sitting here still. Okay, we are not started yet, which is strange because this judge is pretty prompt. Okay, so this is a good angle to see where the gun safe is, where Noonan would be standing, and now, and just keep in mind the stairwell picture and how small that landing is, right? Just
The
don't buy
entrance
it.
going into the master.
Okay, into the bedroom?
Yes.
Let's see.
I'll show you what's marked as exhibit number 51.
Okay, this is a better
Recognize,
angle. So again, this is his view into the room, and he is saying, so do you see that white rug on the floor and the pink box and the chair? He is saying Kelsey is on her knees. First of all, what's she doing on her knees in the doorway? He says she was on her knees and then she lunged forward. And again, the way he first explained it before we saw these pictures, before we got to court, he said she lunged around the doorway or behind the doorway. There is no behind or around or hiding anywhere. He's saying she was on her knees, she lunged forward, grabbed something from that box, and it ended up being a gun, which she immediately tried to shoot, which is just very strange. I mean, I'm not like a weapons expert or anything like that, but she immediately tried to shoot and it dry fired in that moment. And that's when he says she then stood up, backed away, started to tap and then re-rack. So tap. And again, I want to make this clear from what we saw yesterday with Kelsey taking copious notes. Our chat said that Kelsey was taking notes with her right hand. And if my dominant hand is my right, and that's what I use to fire a weapon. If she is racking with her left hand, how did the gun end up in her left hand? Which is where, when she fell backwards, they said, well, two different things yesterday, but in the CIC report, Daly said that, and actually Noonan said it too, so I'm thinking that it's actually true, that when she was flipped over to see if there was an exit wound from the gunshot, they found the gun under her on her left side, left hand, left leg. How is she doing that? I'm not buying it. I wonder what the judge is thinking. I really do. I would love to know the judge's thoughts here. We are still not live yet, but I'm sure we will be. Good morning, Winterbug. And yes, Justin did the pirouette we've all imagined in our head from Trouba Paul, Tommy Paul's testimony. The struggle, as Teal said, so she allegedly points the gun and dry fires. He remains completely silent and doesn't shoot. It's only after she backpedals and runs around the bed and all that he decides to finally speak. Yeah, I mean, I feel like law enforcement training says that when they see a gun, everyone starts yelling gun. That's like the first thing that you say. But I don't know, maybe he panicked, even though he had all of that calm SWAT training, and I don't know. The struggle, as Teal says, he may believe his own story, but it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, I think after you have to justify it in your head. You have to make it so that you're not the villain, I think. And so I think a lot of people do that. So you start to tell yourself a story and then you start to believe that story and you keep going with that story. I really, Amanda said, did she actually already have the gun on her? I really hope she testifies because I still have many questions I want answered. I think, I mean, based on Bradl's opening, it sounds like Kelsey is going to testify and I hope she does. Normally I would not hope for a defendant to testify because I think it hurts them and it hurts their case because they can get crushed on the cross. But in this situation, I think Kelsey can tell her story like no one else can. And if Noonan is telling his story, Kelsey needs to get up and tell her story. That's just my opinion. D Cool says, if the little pink box had a lock on it, then why not have fun with your gun storage? I completely get it. But she didn't have time to unlock the box, first of all. So they're saying that her service revolver was just hanging out in this pink box. Seems strange to me. When something Maria said, when something doesn't make sense, it's a lie. Judge Judy said so. Well, if Judge Judy said it, it is gospel, obviously. I wonder what Judge Judy would have to say about this case. I bet she'd be all over this shit. Chris says, is Kelsey currently incarcerated or was she able to bond out after the judge change? There was a judge change, correct? Yes, on all counts. So she was in prison when she had the crazy judge McCarthy Neiman, who did some kind of shady shit and sent her back to jail after the first scram hearing, which I know was audio and not video, even though I say I watched it because it feels like I watched it, but I know I didn't. She finally was let out and put back on house arrest. And then the judge Carp, who she has now, relaxed some of her bond conditions. So they allowed her to be able to travel to her attorney's office. They also removed the order that said she couldn't have any contact with her own child, which means she can now go to family court and get contact, hopefully ask the court to have visitation with her child. So that was all really good stuff for Kelsey. Kelsey and her baby are the most beautiful things in the world, and he is going to regret every minute he ever thought of hurting her, Dakota says. Dakota girl. Yeah, Noonan also said, Amanda wrote, he said she leveled the shot at his face. Also random, but Justin and Smarmy's sister both used the phrase several shots. Yeah, I noticed that too. There were, as far as we know, there were only 2 shots. Unless they could hear the dry fire, which I don't think that makes a big enough sound to be able to hear it outside where Justin was fleeing. How many people were fleeing all over this case? His sister Courtney yesterday said she fled the bachelor or bachelorette party. It's just insane. The drama. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't tell what it seems like. They had guns all over this house, which is terrifying to me, but they also are professionals. We have some movement in the courtroom. But D Cool said a cop with an infant would not have a loaded gun in a hallway. I would assume she's a reasonable and responsible gun owner. You would think, but they had guns all over the place. So Dakota girl, I won't bother you considering I'm a troll, but I do appreciate the stickers. Can you please tell Rebecca? I got a red one. I don't know what that means. Respectfully, you're amazing at what you do. Thank you. I don't think you're a troll. I don't think anyone here thinks you're a troll. But TC nerd missed some stuff because of life stuff. What is the don't miss stuff? I would say from yesterday, the beginning of trial, I think you were here for that when the judge had to twice tell the gallery that they needed to leave if they were a witness or witness adjacent. Um, and they finally left, but then there was video outside of them listening, it seems, allegedly listening to the trial when they weren't supposed to, because the judge also told them not to do that. I would also go back to yesterday and watch the Ring camera video from Chelsea, or from Kelsey's house, which shows basically the moment Kelsey comes home after being at the park with the baby, all the way through to Kelsey being put on a gurney and taken out of the house. So you see what everybody's doing on the outside of the house, and in the sunroom, the screened in, like, sort of sunroom of the house. You see Justin flipping out and running out of the basement. You see him in the basement. So that was really interesting testimony. There were a couple of moments where there were objections made, that would have led us down a road of a little bit more juicy testimony, because it was, like, about the bachelorette party, but the judge shut that down. Um, I think Daly's testimony yesterday was illuminating. I think he had some inconsistencies, and he was a little bit, nervous, a lot nervous. Noonan was way more calm on the stand yesterday, which I think was probably comes from his training, because he's been trained to be calm. I don't think the prosecution has as strong of a case as they think they do, based on they're kind of helping the defense in some of their arguments. These pictures help the defense. Really going in deep on Noonan's training about for SWAT, and being like, learning how to be calm and deliberate in situations like this, because it doesn't appear that he was acting calm and deliberate when he did what he did. Um, Cindy Lou says, and if anybody else in the chat has any moments from yesterday they thought were, um, they stood out, let us know. Cindy Lou said I think he panicked and shot her, and then panicked again, realizing her mom and baby was there, and then said self-defense. Yeah. I think that in that situation, you don't want to feel guilty about what you've done. You've just shot a young mother whose child is either in the house or outside of the house, who's only 4 months old. You may have unalived a human being who is still breastfeeding another life. And I think in that moment, your brain does funny things, and you immediately start figuring out, well, I was justified. I did this. I had to. So I think it's totally human behavior. But what we're dealing with in this is a judge who has to determine who was factually responsible in this situation. Smarmy is the perfect description for Justin and his sister. Yeah, they're also really entitled and have a lot of audacity. It's okay to say this, Simna. Simna said, I kind of hate to say it, but I think Noonan was the most honest one to testify so far. Who knows? That's going to be up to the judge. I had some issues with his testimony. He might have been coming off as honest because he truly believes what he's saying. That doesn't mean that what he's saying is factual, is the way I would say it. Yeah, this is a great point. Thanks for pointing this out, Kitty. For people not from the area, North Andover is right on the border of New Hampshire, and her family lived there. Justin acted like she was trying to flee cross country with the baby to never return. Yeah. It's always been a stupid argument. And again, they're trying to play on the emotions of whoever's listening to their story in that situation by exaggerating that Kelsey was going to cross the border into New Hampshire. Literally, my family and I would go back and forth between New Hampshire and Massachusetts on the daily. You just sort of, the border's there, you cross over into it, you do what you do, you come back. A lot of people work cross border when New Hampshire, on the borders of New Hampshire and Massachusetts. A lot of people, like I said, day job is in New Hampshire and they live in Massachusetts, or vice versa. It's the idea that she like crossed the border into New Hampshire and he would never see his child again. And who knows what she's going to do in the faraway land of New Hampshire. It's stupid. It's stupid. Let's see. He would be getting so much shit. He's going to say it's her fault. Yeah, this is a good point, Cindy. Imagine if she died and the headline was Andover cop shoots and kills mother of 4-month-old. He would be getting so much shit. Of course, he's going to say it's her fault. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Um Dakota Girl said, I read it in the Inquirer. LOL. I think that's the name of the magazine. If you're as old as me, you know. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? The Inquirer, isn't that where we found the truth? Well, that's where we found the salacious gossip. There was the Inquirer, there was Star Magazine. These are the tabloid magazines that really painted celebrity gossip, um, big trial gossip. It's how, Pam Smart was. Go ahead and take a drink. I said Pam Smart. It's how Pam Smart was created in the press as being a Black Widow and as being cold as ice and the Ice Princess and all these things. My grandmother loved the Inquirer, and then sadly she got a lot of her news from the Inquirer. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. I think the Inquirer and Star Magazine are still around, if I'm not mistaken. They're they're the tabloid magazines that you buy at the grocery checkout. Harvey Levine on TMZ got his start on the People's Court. TC Nerd said. Did we remember the People's Court? I used to love that show. Dot said Justin and his sister were so clearly coached on ways to try and amp up the entire situation. Their word choices were wild. For sure. We got some movement in the court. I'm surprised we're this late. Casey said that Bettero cracked me up on Mazza last night. He said, what is she like? Billy the Kid coming up behind the bed, guns ablaze and firing away for what reason? Emily C had a really funny response to a tweet about how Kelsey was moving in the bedroom. And it was basically like this big cat that was just like running circles around the ceiling and the floor and the walls. I mean, it's like she would have had to do some major maneuvering to pull off what he said she did. Maybe D said, maybe I missed this when we were doing all the pretrial stuff, but I imagine Noonan to be a way younger. He's an old man. I think I think he's not as old as we think he is. I think it's just that he has like that white gray hair like Santa Claus. He looked like a hipster Santa Claus to me. But yeah, he's not a spring chicken by any stretch, but I don't think he's that old. He's like tatted up. He's probably my age. Let's see. Kitty wants to know why we think Bradl's cross of Justin was so short. From what I understand, he was trying to keep it simple. He was trying not to open any doors or muddy the water. He was just trying to get out. I mean, I thought one of the questions, two of the questions, I'll say this, really may have struck a chord. I think if a jury had been in the room, it would have really struck a chord with the jury. One of the things he asked Justin was, why did basically, so you only held your child for 50 seconds before you handed it off, even though that was your main concern, was getting your child to safety. And Justin said, no, I disagree with that. And then Bradl clarified that Kelsey was asking him, don't you want to hold your child? Do you want to hold your child? And finally he held his child for 50 seconds and handed them off. And he had to admit to that. So that, dinged his credibility. The other thing that Bradl got in was that he is working for the North Andover Fire and Rescue, and that he is not currently on the schedule right now because he has been put on administrative leave with pay, pending the investigation of his extensive drug use, which he's not allowed to do. Firefighters are not in this area. I don't know if it's a nationwide thing. Firefighters are not allowed to smoke pot or take acid like Justin did. I also assume that they don't want their firefighters to be alcoholics because that would impair their judgment on life-saving calls. And what we learned from Kelsey's filing, I believe it was filing 82 in a motion to the court just before we went to trial. Apparently, Justin had the shakes from alcohol withdrawal. So when you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, oftentimes your body shakes when you're withdrawing. Oh, we are in court. And he basically was taking the wine, the cooking wine from inside the firehouse to calm his hands, which is damning if you ask me. And we are in trial. Okay. Good. It's gonna be better. Martha Coakley, Kelsey, Bradl. Oh, we're gonna talk about the view. Oh, sorry guys. Can you see it now? Can you hear it?
Progress on the other end of it. Excuse me. At this point, I am
Can you guys see it now?
satisfied with your discretion. If you would like to view, we'll do it. I did file a motion. If you feel that at the close of the evidence you would like to view, we'll make it happen.
Okay, well, let me just tell you my present thinking. So, and I think some of this you're implying, so I don't think I'm patronizing you by any means. But so I was told at Sidebar yesterday that Miss Fitzsimmons no longer owns the home, and it belongs to a third. It is now owned by a third party. So, has the defense been in communication with the current owner?
Not the owners themselves, some representatives, Your Honor, and it's just honestly kind of getting a little bit of passive resistance about it.
Okay, all right.
Passive resistance.
Just to point out, and this is why I was running late, I was trying to remember, there was a case from a couple decades ago, I think, Commonwealth versus Mattis, which goes through the procedure under circumstances where none of the parties have, a party seeks access to someone's home for purposes of a view, and essentially my memory is, and just a quick look this morning, is that it's kind of a Rule 17 circumstance where the homeowner would need to be summoned, given an opportunity to be heard about whether we could go in there. This issue a lot of times doesn't come up because a lot of times the Commonwealth has either the scene is a public place or the Commonwealth has had the ability to I guess to reach out to the owners and make that work. But the Commonwealth is not seeking a view. They have the burden of proof. And I guess my position at this point is neutral. I would, if the defense wants a view and you're able to set it up in a timely manner, well, Commonwealth, if the defense was able to set up the view, in other words, reach out and do the legwork that the Commonwealth usually does, is the Commonwealth opposed to it? Okay. Will the Commonwealth and your resources help us? Okay.
Okay, good.
So we have, so I'm just going to leave it to you, Mr. Bradl. I just don't want a last minute decision because we need to, Mr. Ruane especially needs to make
So it sounds like the homeowners, the new
plans
homeowners
for
of Kelsey's house are being
et cetera.
resistant
So,
to having them
I
view,
just don't, it seems to me
having the judge
that,
view the house.
as for whether I need it or not, I think it's not my place to say. I know I did, in fairness to both sides, I did say that yesterday. And after thinking about it, I don't think it's my place to say. The Commonwealth has the burden.
Mm.
The defense has due process rights, as well as many other constitutional rights.
I don't
and
think he'll
I'm
wear
open
his robe to the view, Cindy.
accommodating a view. Okay?
But he might,
Just
who
let
knows?
Mr. Ruane know sooner than later.
Very good.
Okay.
And we wouldn't, I can just tell you now that we don't want to, force these people to do it. We don't want to get into a
Right.
thing with it, but
I can tell you this from my perspective. Here I am talking again out of both sides of my mouth, which, from my perspective, it arguably is less helpful where the items in the bedroom or the layout and even like the bed and all that aren't the same. And I can I get a sense that this is a pretty narrow stairwell, et cetera. But in any event, I'll leave it to you folks. You folks are better at doing your jobs than I am.
so we'll take one more, we'll reach out one more time, see where it goes.
Do we think the
Provide
judge
some
understands the
Okay,
layout of the
okay,
house
no
based on the
problem at all.
pictures in the
And other than
video,
that, I
or
think
should he
we
go
left
do a
off
view?
With Officer Noonan. I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I
Good.
just have 2 more questions for him.
For him. Okay, all right, that's fine. So we left off near the end.
Okay,
of
2 more
direct
questions
examination of
from
Officer Noonan. He can be
the
recalled.
Commonwealth for Officer Noonan, and then Bradl's Cross will start. Wonder who's in the gallery today. Bradl. He seems like a nice guy. Here comes hipster Santa Claus. Yeah, he's not that old. Everyone in the chat was saying he's 50. He's the same age as me. And, I too am going gray. Not as gray as Noonan, but
Yes, sir. You can take the stand, sir.
Good
Just
morning, sir.
reminding you that you're still under
let's see if
oath.
Big Head puts his arm up
Good
really
morning.
high. Oh, he's not doing it again. He's already sworn in.
All set, Mr. Gubitosi?
Thank you.
Let's go,
Sir,
Goober
just a couple
Toes.
more questions for you. The firearm that you used on the 30th, what happened to it after you left the residence?
So I secured the scene, and then once more officers showed up, they relieved me, and the chief had me walk with him to his car, and he
Chief.
took my firearm and he gave me his.
You talked about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Do you see her in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you point to her and describe an article of clothing that she's wearing?
She's wearing a sweater.
May the record reflect she has identified the defendant.
All these men clench their jaws while they're testifying, and if you can see like their masseter. Like, I don't know if you can see mine. That's we talked about this yesterday, but I hope that Sam Beningo breaks down some of this testimony, especially of Courtney, Justin, and this guy, because there's a lot there, I think.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Before we get into the case,
Here we go.
I'm looking at your glasses.
Oh,
Are those glasses AI recording type glasses?
No,
Okay, so you're not
Ooh,
recording
Bradl.
anything right now.
absolutely not.
oh.
Let's go to June 30th at Kelsey Fitzsimmons' house. What time did you get there?
I think right around 6 or 5:30, 6 o'clock.
The upshot of that visit was that when you got there, you didn't secure the firearms, did you?
No, we didn't.
And you collectively, meaning the 3 of you, you brought the guy getting the restraining order to the person he claims he's in fear of, correct?
I wasn't aware that Justin was en route.
That's a great point.
That was Lieutenant Daly when he made arrangements.
Daly didn't tell you guys that
Justin.
Justin was
So
coming.
you're saying that was, sorry, finish your answer.
Justin, I Allen.
That was your, that was not your part of this incident?
No, it wasn't.
And you're saying that, oh, sorry.
He wasn't briefed. So, from what I understand from Daly's testimony yesterday, he said that he got Houston and Noonan. Do you see how he's like clenching his jaw? He's also trying to listen into the sidebar. That's strange. Daly told them what was happening, and from what I understand, they all met. Maybe Noonan wasn't there, but they met with Justin in the lobby while he was waiting.
Box to be emptied, so I just want to have the gentleman move. Sorry about that, sir.
Oh, somebody was
We'll
sitting in the
make
jury
room
box.
for you.
Yeah, Cindy Lou, why was he wearing gloves? Things we need to know. Agreed.
Just 1 second.
Look at his masseter. Just keep
Also,
watching
sorry to
his.
interrupt you.
Thank you.
He licks his lips a
So-
lot, clenching the
When
jaw.
did you become aware that Justin Elaine was coming to the house?
I wasn't aware.
Bullshit.
Did you see him at all when you were there?
No,
You were aware that he came in and was walking around the house?
no,
You were not?
no.
You go upstairs with Kelsey and with Officer Houston, correct?
Yep.
Officer Houston leaves to see who's coming in downstairs.
There was an older woman that was causing a scene with Lieutenant Daly, and
A woman
The
causing a
Question was,
scene.
did Houston go downstairs?
he did to mitigate what was going on downstairs, is what my belief was.
And you were with Kelsey when she had gone into her bedroom, correct?
Yes,
Then you went down the stairs to see what was going on.
no,
You took some steps down the stairs, didn't you?
I did not.
Your testimony is that you stayed on that landing?
Yes,
Isn't it true you left Kelsey alone in that room for a period of time?
no,
You were standing on the landing, so she was in the room alone. Let's
You're
get
serving
technical.
an order on someone who's your colleague, correct?
correct.
It's fair to say
He's
that
nervous and angry.
this restraining order service
In my
isn't exactly
opinion.
going by the book, is it?
And from my past experience, it is.
Well, the guns are floating around out there.
Actually, Kelsey had stated the guns were downstairs in the basement and safe.
Which is
I
where
didn't ask you what you
Justin
stated,
was.
did I?
So
Continue.
that could have.
Thank you. So
Continue.
the guns are
Fucker.
still floating around. You're serving a colleague. The guy comes to the house who's got the order.
What a douche.
It's fair to say this isn't exactly a garden variety service of a restraining order, is it?
That's inaccurate.
It's inaccurate?
Yes.
Okay. And this is just another day for you?
No, it's not.
So in fact, you were working, right?
Yes.
You get a call from Houston.
He's angry.
Yes.
He tells you what the plan is.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes, he said that.
Correct? I didn't ask you what he said.
Okay.
He told you what the plan is, correct?
No. He asked me to meet up with him.
He told you that
That's not
Kelsey's
true.
ex-fiance got a restraining order and that you had to serve it, get her firearms, and get the baby, didn't he?
Not on the phone. No.
And you said to Houston on the phone, whatever he said to you, your answer was, sounds good. Right.
No.
That's not what you said.
I don't remember what I said to him.
Well, that's what you told the grand jury, isn't it?
Well, he's going to be argumentative.
Overall,
Misstating what he told the grand jury.
well, you can restate during redirect.
Yeah, he's
We'll get
very
to it.
nervous, I
We'll
think.
circle back
And I
on all
prefer
this.
that both sides show a witness what they're referring to when they're trying to.
I will.
Now, why don't you refresh his memory, Bradl? Good morning, Amy.
I want to ask you some questions about your relationship with Kelsey.
He
Sure.
seems like an angry cop.
You said that you didn't know her well.
That's correct.
It's not correct.
And you said that she was on maternity leave most of the time. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Bullshit.
And you also said that you got along well with her, right?
For the time, I think we went to one or two calls together. Other than that, I worked a completely different shift. So
One or
So
two
is-
calls
we got
together.
along when we went to calls. Yes.
Did you get along well with her or not?
Yeah.
And did you think well of her?
I really didn't have an opinion. I didn't have a chance to really get to know her.
Well, do you know
Bullshit.
Maureen Teresi, your neighbor?
Maureen Teresi.
You gave her your opinion of Kelsey, didn't you?
I don't remember.
You called her a whack job, didn't you?
Oh, there's that another cop saying whack job.
Question, can you say
Sure.
it again?
So I asked him if he knew Miss Maureen Teresi, his neighbor. And
He's a whack
and
job cunt.
I said that he gave.
Oh
his
my God,
opinion of
another
Kelsey
cop
to
saying
his
a
neighbor,
woman's a whack
and then
job.
he called her a whack job. And then you can answer again, sir. What was your answer?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I don't.
Is it possible you called her a whack job to your neighbor?
It's possible.
So that's what you really think about Kelsey, isn't it? That she's a whack job.
After she tried to
These-
kill me.
Oh
And
my
at the
God.
time, you went in there loaded for bear, didn't you?
No.
Well, let's see. You
After she tried to kill
told
me.
the
Are you fucking
um,
kidding me?
state police that the job was to section her, didn't you?
It was spoken about that if she reacts badly during the restraining order, she may have to get sectioned.
Well,
Oh
that's
my
what you said, that
God.
you had pre-planned that you were going to section her.
It
The
wasn't
job was to
pre-planned.
section her, isn't that what you said?
No, that's inaccurate.
So-
Hold on one second, let me just go through some ground rules. You need to wait until.
Thank you, Judge.
Because we can't have people,
Jesus.
Talking over one another.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks very much. Go ahead, Mr. Bradl.
And also you raised quite a lot of concerns about where Kelsey parked her car, correct?
Yes.
And you suggested at one point that you could box her in and take her into custody with respect to the car, right?
Yes.
So you were thinking that she was going to need to be sectioned, that she was a whack job, and that she needed to be boxed in and placed into custody, right?
Objection.
I'm asking about a state of mind from her.
He has testified that he thought she was a whack job before he went.
Overruled.
Those are all
Overruled.
things that were in your mindset, weren't they?
No.
Well, you said them, right?
No, that's inaccurate.
Sectioning her,
It was brought up by my lieutenant that she may have to be sectioned
and you told the state police that part of the job was to section her.
if she were to be sectioned.
You didn't say that part to the state police, did you?
I don't recall.
Okay, well, we'll go over all this, don't worry.
Okay.
And so
Don't worry.
with respect to the car, you testified in such a manner that you're suggesting that there was some suspicion attached to that, right?
Can you rephrase?
Yeah, you're suspicious of the fact that she parked the car 150 yards away, you said.
Yes.
So
Licking the lips.
your mindset is that she's evading something or she's up to something?
Well, in my training and experience,
Oh, please.
the distance of where she parked her car from her house and having a baby, and also her behavior in the past where her car was always parked in the driveway, was,
So you didn't know her very well.
I knew where she lived and I patrol the town. So I have to drive by her house.
So she parks in the school next to her house.
Yes.
What are you thinking she's going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what her mindset was.
So you're speculating about any suspicion that's attached to that parking job, right?
I was just suspicious about that.
So she's in the house. You
Yes.
know she's in the house.
No, I don't.
You go to the house. You knock on the door. Daly knocks on the door. She comes out like a regular mom,
Yes.
holding the baby, wearing sweats, hair's probably in a ponytail, opens the door,
Yes.
right? So at that point, do you let go of your suspicions about where she parked the car?
I was still curious as to why she parked her car over 150 yards away.
Well, you're looking at it through your own lens as an investigator. Isn't it possible that there's 100 other possibilities in her life that maybe she parked there for some other reason?
Could be. I don't know. Again, I don't know what her mindset was.
Hi, Mary.
So you
Thanks
go
for
in
being here.
there and you are the only officer who has tactical gloves on when you go in there, correct?
Oh,
They're
gloves.
neoprene gloves, yes.
So you're ready for anything, right?
It's past practice with me after working in Lawrence for so long. I tend to glove up for sanitary reasons. I knew we
Wow.
were going to have to handle her firearms, so I didn't want to get any of my prints or anything on them.
Well, you
Lawrence.
said you took them off fairly quickly when you got in there.
Yes.
And at what point did you take them off?
Right before she handed me the baby.
So you hadn't yet touched the firearms and you took them off. So that plan about not getting your prints on the firearms didn't pan out, did it?
I didn't want to hold the baby with those gloves. They're pretty dirty.
And while we're talking about holding the baby,
Dirty.
it's fair to say that Kelsey Fitzsimmons, with 3 cops standing there, had her baby, and she's the one that chose to give it to you. Isn't
Yes.
that right? You didn't ask for it. Daly didn't order her to give it to you. She, with whatever her mindset was, chose you to take her baby. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
And she chose you to take a bottle and feed her baby, right?
That's correct.
And then this is 5 minutes before you say she tries to murder you, right?
That's correct.
Now, you said that you felt that the baby couldn't be comfortable because you had your vest on. So it wasn't comfortable and you wanted to give the baby off to someone else, right?
That's correct.
Fair statement?
Yes.
Well, that's not what you said prior, is it?
Well, I
Oh,
like to have my hands free as well. I don't like my hands tied up.
That's what you said the last time, right? That when you spoke with the state police, that you didn't like having anything in your hands, and it was really a tactical reason why you gave the baby up, right?
No, it wasn't a tactical. I just didn't want to be holding the baby.
Isn't it tactical that you want to have your hands free to deal with anything you have to deal with at this?
I want to have my hands free on every call.
What's
that I
wrong
make.
with the word tactical? Why isn't that tactical?
Can you rephrase that?
What's wrong with the word tactical?
There's nothing wrong with that.
So why doesn't it apply? Because I said it?
I'm sure it could apply.
Objection.
I'll strike that. You know.
argumentative.
Why doesn't it apply?
I'm sure it could apply. Sure.
So for tactical reasons, you gave up the baby, but that's not what you said here at this trial, is it?
I don't recall what you. Can you rephrase that?
Well,
I don't-
here at the trial, you said that the baby couldn't have been comfortable and you wanted to give the baby off, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you didn't say anything about wanting to keep your hands free for tactical reasons, right?
It wasn't asked.
You were asked what happened repeatedly, and you had every opportunity to talk about it, didn't you?
Sure.
And you left it out.
Not on purpose.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Mr. Bradl, comment like that isn't helpful, please.
Sorry, your motion is strike.
Look, he's so mad. He's trying to get under his skin, I think.
Your own comment.
I am.
It's allowed. And that's very forthright of you.
Just a moment.
Yep, take your time.
He's really trying to get under Noonan's skin, I think. And I think it's working because Noonan, his masseter, is working overtime. He's licking his lips. He's getting like, you can tell he's like, I don't know how to explain it, but he's just like firming his body up. Wow. He's a douchebag. Another friggin' Massachusetts cop who calls women whack jobs. What kind of hell are we living in? Is this the fucking upside down?
Testimony that we alluded to.
Whack job.
So your testimony here was that you didn't get the whole plan from Officer Houston on the phone, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And my suggestion that your answer about the thing in sort of a matter-of-fact way was, okay, sounds good. And you disagree that you said that, right?
I don't disagree. I just don't recall.
You don't recall?
Yeah, what I said.
So isn't it true that you were asked, page 36, Who did you get a call from? Officer Houston. And what was that call about? Was the next question. And your answer was, he had asked me if Lieutenant Daly reached out to me. I said no. Officer Houston said, hey, can you meet me at the CCC, which is a little grade school behind the Atkinson School. He said, we have to serve papers to Officer Kelsey. I said, okay, sounds good. And I drove over to that location and met up with him, right?
Okay, sounds good.
And you knew those papers were a restraining order for Kelsey to give up the baby, give up her guns, lose her job,
I had
brought by her fiance, right?
I had no idea what was entailed in the restraining order at that time.
You
At
didn't
what
have to know
point
that.
did you learn the job here?
As far as the restraining order,
As far as this job you were going to do at Kelsey's house?
what job?
The restraining order service, taking the baby, finding the guns,
When I met up with
sectioning her,
Officer
boxing her in,
when I
putting
met
her
up
into
with Officer
custody.
Houston.
Don't talk when I'm talking, sir.
Ooh.
Box.
Hold
Sorry.
on. Let's not argue back and forth and just ask your questions. If you just wait to answer until he's done. If you can restate, thank you.
Sure. So you asked me what the job was. So my suggestion is that the job is serving the restraining order, going to get the baby, finding the guns. You thought about boxing her
fiery.
in and taking her into custody. You thought about sectioning her. That job.
When I met up with Officer Houston behind the CCC.
And at that point, you knew what you were getting into, right?
After he explained what was going on, and we were pretty shocked.
In all of the statements you've made prior to being here yesterday and today, you've never said that you were pretty shocked about anything, have you?
I don't recall.
You weren't shocked. You were treating this like a video game, weren't you?
No.
Well, your first answer is, sounds good, like it's any other day, right?
As to meeting up with him behind the CCC. Yep, sounds good. See you there.
Sounds good to meet up, okay.
Let's go, Bradl. Let's fucking go. This is awesome.
Let's talk
Good job,
about
Bradl.
the bedroom and the shots that you fired. Here in court, you said that those shots were in rapid fire.
Rapid succession. Yes.
And like a boom, boom.
Yes.
No, that's not what you said to the state police, though, is it?
That was 8 months ago, right around there. I don't recall.
Refresh. Go
Said I
ahead.
shot twice, possibly.
You told the state police that you pulled the trigger.
How angry he
This
is.
is 12:32 in the audio. You told the police that you pulled the trigger once. You said the word once. And then you said, I kept giving commands. And then you said, I pulled the trigger again.
Not in
That's a
succession.
completely different scenario than 2 shots in rapid succession, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
As far as the time frame, I was trying to recall the event as best as possible.
It's a yes/no answer.
But, rapid succession, you pull the trigger, pull it again. Yes, I pulled it twice.
He's really
That was
trying
July
hard.
3rd, right after this incident, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
So it's fair to say that talking then it's right after the incident. Now you're here in court. Both of those propositions can't be true, can they?
I'm sorry, what?
The proposition, I'll rephrase it. The proposition that you said here in court, that you made 2 shots in rapid succession,
Yes.
and what you said on July 3rd, one shot, giving some commands, another shot. Both of those things can't be true, can they?
They can be true.
They can be true.
Yes.
So rapid succession, and then what? You talk really fast before the second shot?
Oh, I was given commands. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm asking you about this particular passage, this particular thing. Here you said you made 2 shots in rapid succession.
Yes.
You painted a different picture on July 3rd, didn't you?
No.
You shot, you gave commands, and then you shot again.
That's the
How
truth.
can that be rapid succession?
Because that's how it went in rapid succession.
You disagreed with me that it was a boom, boom.
Yes.
So where's the time for the commands between the shots?
As I'm yelling them.
Well, that's not what you said. You said you pulled the trigger once. I kept giving commands. I pulled the trigger again.
Yes.
So they're 2 different assertions, aren't they?
No.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. This guy's lying. This guy's lying. Look at that.
You gave a statement on July 3rd to the state police, right? A recorded statement.
Yes.
Angry.
You testified yesterday and today.
Don't look at me like that.
What was your preparation like for this case? To come in here and testify.
I met up with Mr. Gubitosi, Attorney
Gubertos.
Gubitosi.
How many times?
I believe twice.
And when did that? When were those meetings?
One was recently, I think last Thursday, and the one before, I can't remember.
And when did you start prepping your testimony?
On this past Thursday.
Well, you probably started prepping your testimony about 5 minutes after the shooting, didn't you?
No.
When was the first time you were questioned about what happened?
I think July 3rd.
So everyone left you alone until July 3rd?
Yes.
When you were upstairs with Kelsey, she kept giving you things and asking you to take them downstairs, didn't she?
That's correct.
And she did that with Houston as well, right?
Yes.
So it's fair to say that she was trying to get you away from her, right?
I don't know what her mindset was. I wasn't going to leave her alone.
Sure, let me ask you a better question. The effect of that would have been, if you took things downstairs, that you would have left her.
Yes, that's correct.
That's not consistent with her trying to kill you, is it? She's trying to get rid of you.
Can you ask that question again?
The fact that she's trying to remove you from the area where her gun is not consistent with her trying to kill you, is it?
At that point, no.
So let's get into the incident here, what you say happened. You say that Kelsey went into her bedroom after being in the baby's room, correct?
Yes.
She, you don't go in the room, right?
No, I stayed at the very top of the stairs, right before the door frame.
So it's fair to say you're on the landing, the top of the stairs, looking into the room.
That's correct.
And the room's got a lot of furniture in it, a lot of things everywhere, right?
Yes.
So you say that Kelsey has a change in her demeanor, right?
Yes.
She starts to shake and get upset, shaking uncontrollably, you said, right?
Yes.
Then she lunges.
Yes.
She's on her knees.
She was, I believe, on her right knee.
You said that she pushed off her left leg and lunged, right?
Yes.
And at the time, you were 3 feet away from her,
Yes.
maybe less.
Maybe.
So can we agree that's arm's length?
She was a little further away than arm's length, I would say.
So arm's length if you reach over maybe. How about that?
Yes.
And your testimony is that she lunges over and obtains a gun.
Yes.
Right. And she assumes a certain stance.
Can you elaborate?
Well, you were there. What stance did she assume?
She pointed a gun at my face and pulled the trigger.
And yesterday, when you were being questioned, you assumed a two-handed stance to show that, didn't you?
That's correct.
And what do you call that kind of a stance?
I don't know.
Is that like a modified Weaver stance?
Yes.
So she assumes a modified Weaver
All of
stance.
his training,
Can
he
you
doesn't
stand
know.
up and show- A modified Weaver stance. That's just what it's called. Can you demonstrate to us what a modified Weaver stance looks like?
Do you want me to stand up and show you?
Please.
So are you asking him just in general?
Just to
or-
show the stance in general first.
Big
yes.
guy.
Thank you.
Big guy.
So she grabs it, comes up, pulls the trigger.
Oh, that's not, I don't think that's what he was asking you, but.
So just what's the modified Weaver stance? What is it? And what, can you describe it? What are you doing when you do a modified Weaver stance?
Strong side. All right. So if I'm righty, this is my strong side. That's gonna grab the pistol, and I use my support hand to support the weapon.
Are you righty?
I'm sorry.
Are you righty?
I am.
Oh, there it is.
You can have some things.
Thanks.
And you're saying that Ms. Fitzsimmons had the gun in that kind
There
of
it is.
stance?
Yes.
And how far was the gun away from your face?
It was right outside of arm's length.
So she's 3 feet away. She assumes the modified Weaver stance, so she's probably another foot or two towards you, right?
She stepped to the left.
Guys, I'm sorry. I had to pause for just a minute because one of the biggest arguments in this case is that in order for him to shoot at Kelsey, he would be pulling his gun from his right side because he is right-handed. But he says that he immediately got off a shot. So there's some questions about how he did this because it would be his left arm that comes into the room first. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know if she stepped towards me.
Well, your testimony was that she immediately lifted the gun to you and
Yes.
pulled the trigger and tried to shoot you right in the face.
Yes.
So the gun
Nice.
didn't go off.
No.
And there she is with the gun there. The guns didn't go off, and you're within feet of her and the gun that didn't go off, right?
That's correct.
And you didn't just grab her, did you?
No, I was in complete shock. And then she started backpedaling immediately and trying to
On her
tack and rack
knees?
that weapon.
Right. So your testimony is that Kelsey goes from a wounded bird shaking uncontrollably to a female movie action hero, doesn't she?
Those aren't my words.
That's your description of what happened, isn't it?
I didn't describe that either.
She's on her
So
knees.
she gets the gun. She tries to murder you in the face
Yes.
5 minutes after she has her feed her baby.
Yes.
She pulls the trigger and nothing happens.
Yes. It went click.
I don't mean to
stands
laugh.
up, right?
She was already standing.
So
She was on her
as
knees.
she's standing, she shoots you. She tries to shoot you in the face.
Yes. And then she started to backpedal.
So first she backpedals, then she sidesteps. She tap racks again, right?
Yes.
So in all this time, this is like the longest tap rack in history, isn't it?
It's 4 seconds.
So she gets up, she sidestep first or backpedal first?
Back pedals.
So she backpedals first.
And
How
then
many
sidestep. I would say maybe 4 or 5, and then maybe another 3, 4, or 5 to her left, which is my right.
So she goes into action. She tapping the magazine and then racking the gun while she's moving around.
Yes, she's a well-trained police officer
Who's a whack job.
who tried to kill me.
So let's get the order straight. You said that she backpedals first.
Yes, after she pulled the trigger.
And nothing happened.
Yes.
And then she taps the magazine
Yes.
and then racks the slide.
I believe her hand slipped off. That's when she went in, and I was giving her commands, don't do it. And she re-racked and started to bring her right arm up.
And
Bullshit.
then she does it again, right?
Yes.
And you actually have no idea whether she successfully racked it the first time or successfully racked it the second time, correct?
That's correct.
You don't know what happened.
No, I don't.
And so it takes a few seconds to take 4 or 5 or whatever steps back towards the air conditioner, right?
From beginning to end, once she pulled the gun on me and pulled the trigger, and by the
Tried to
time
murder
I
you in
shot
the
her,
face?
it was right around 4 seconds total, if not 3.5. It was
Bullshit.
very fast.
So she goes from shaking uncontrollably, sad about her situation, crying, to being pretty nimble.
She wasn't crying.
Look at his jaw.
She
Look at his jaw.
walks- She's backpedals, you said, right?
That's correct.
Then she sidesteps
Yes.
to the air conditioner. And you had a look of panic on your face at that time, didn't you?
No.
You were flustered, weren't you?
No.
Well, you were in shock 5 minutes later, weren't you?
After the incident and my adrenaline dumped, yeah, I was in shock then.
My adrenaline
So,
dumped.
At the
Gross.
time, getting back to the incident, Kelsey's by the air conditioner. She's backpedaled, she sidestepped, she tapped, she racked, she tapped, she racked, and then you shoot her.
Yes.
And you shot 2 shots. Where are we on the rapid succession? Which one do you want to go with? Rapid succession, or you shot, gave commands, and shot again? Which is it?
I was given commands and shooting at the same time.
Okay. Well, your prior testimony was that you shot, you pulled the trigger, gave commands, and you pulled the trigger again.
Yes.
So was it that, or was it boom, boom, rapid succession?
It all happened in 4 seconds or less.
So you're a very well-trained SWAT officer, yes?
Yes.
You're a firearms instructor.
No.
You're a patrol instructor, where you instruct
What's a
other
patrol?
officers on the job, right?
Field training officer.
Field training officer.
Yes.
Thank you. And you've been doing this for 25 years?
No.
20 years.
Right around there, yes.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 20 years. And one of your thought processes was that you wanted to give your training and experience back to the North Andover PD where you started, right?
Yes, and come back where I started.
And here, your first shot, you missed her from about 7 feet away.
I did. It was longer than 7 feet. It was at that point about 15 feet,
15 feet.
I would say.
Do you have any measurements on this?
No, but if you
15
remove the
feet?
bed and you were to walk diagonal from where I shot, it was probably around 15.
So the
Bullshit.
first shot you missed her and you hit the air conditioner. Is that right? Or do you know?
I didn't know where it went.
And
Just randomly firing.
the fact is
Okay.
that we have only one spent projectile in this case, right?
I'm sorry?
We only have one spent projectile in this case, correct?
Oh,
I don't know what state police collected.
You weren't curious as to any of the paperwork or anything that happened in the case?
I believe they told me that there was one on the bed and one on the floor, I think, but I don't know where that one projectile comes from.
Did you know that there was one in the curtain next to the air conditioner?
No.
Have you looked at any photos from this at all?
Some, yes.
Did you know that?
Nope.
Yeah, Coach Ron?
Yes, just the photo.
What? Wait, there's only one spent projectile? How's that possible if there are two shots? Where'd the other bullet go? What are those two black balls on that guy's desk? What is that? Is Bradl right? Yeah, exactly, Mary. It was a cluttered room, tiny room. And he is saying that all of a sudden he was 15 feet away from her. I don't think that's true. Did he open himself up into the doorway and make himself open to getting shot at? He wasn't taking cover behind the doorway anymore. It doesn't make any sense. No, Dot, there was an exit wound from when
Thank you.
Kelsey was shot in the chest.
Appreciate it.
What you doing, Bradl? What you doing? An unspent shell could have been hers when she racked the gun. Yeah, well, she dry fired, so that could be that.
Exhibit 49, sir. See that?
what's
Yes,
this?
that's the entrance.
Let's go, camera.
To her bedroom.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of kind of the stuff that was there at the time?
Okay.
I didn't see any of that at the time because I was facing forward. That's at a completely different angle.
Well, that's the area where you say that she lunged to, right?
There, yeah.
Let me just make a really quick point. He's saying he was 15 feet away. He was, what it sounds like, he was standing in the doorway in diagonal. There is no diagonal there because the safe is there. Just put that out there.
Yes, that would have been my left. Yep.
Now, at some point, there was a safe there, wasn't there? A green safe.
I have no idea what was there.
Didn't you speak with Officer Core at the scene?
Yes, I did.
And Officer Core, you said that you ordered him to do something. You remember that?
I did.
You ordered him to take the gun and get it out of there.
Secure it.
And what were you doing at the time you ordered him to do that?
Rendering aid to Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
So you're over by the bed. He would have had to go in that area to get the firearm and secure it, right?
So I placed the firearm. You can't see the right side of the door frame. So if you were to walk into that bedroom and look right, there's some sort of I don't know, nightstand or something. I put the weapon right there.
I'll show you Exhibit 75.
He's nervous.
Is this the?
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
white. Yes, that's it.
Is that?
Oh,
where you put the
wow.
firearm?
On top of that.
Now let's just go over
It's exhibit what?
75. Your Honor.
Thank you.
Wow.
So let's talk.
We haven't seen this picture before. I want to see if we can see it in a more clear way. This is if you walked into the bedroom and went to the right. So the bed is almost like jammed up against the wall.
About who touched the firearm. So Daly picks up the firearm, right?
Yes.
And the firearm was under Kelsey's leg, correct?
I don't know where it was. I was covering down. I know he flipped her over and found the weapon. I don't recall where it was.
Okay. You heard, strike that. So your testimony is that Kelsey's racking the gun, sidestepping, backpedaling, tap rack, and at some point she points the gun at you, right?
Her arm started to come up towards me.
Okay. So it's fair to say that she's back again, like we said earlier. She's starting to do this, right?
No Weaver stance.
Okay. So one hand.
It was.
Is that the FBI crouch? What do you call that? Is it
A one-handed.
it's not called the FBI crouch?
I've never heard that term.
Okay. So she starts to point the gun at you. So we agree then that the gun is out in front of her, right?
It was in the upward position. It was coming up towards me. When I fired my second round, I saw her kind of buckle, and she lowered her weapon, and I stopped shooting, and then she went to the ground.
You hit her in the chest, and she goes flying back and lands on her back, right?
She didn't go flying back.
She landed on her back, correct?
Sorry to pause again. I will be very interested to see if Kelsey does take the stand, because if Kelsey says that she did not fire her weapon, that dry fire, the first time, then he's making this all up, because she started to lift her hand and that's when he shot her in the chest. I think that the entire first part of this story is a lie. That's my opinion.
She went down to the ground. I don't know which way she went. I think she crouched over.
Well, you knew she was on her back, didn't you?
I don't remember. As far as that goes, that's kind of a blur.
So the idea that she's got the gun out in front of her, she falls on her back. If the gun's underneath her, is this some sort of a magic gun?
I don't know where you're getting at.
Doesn't it make sense that if the gun is out here and she receives a force of a 9mm bullet pushing her back this way, how does the gun get all the way behind her and under her leg?
I have no idea. It's the way she fell.
So
Guess we're gonna need an expert. She tried to murder him in the
back
face.
to the notion of who touches the gun. Daly picks up the gun, right?
Yes.
Daly puts it on the bed, correct?
Yes.
And you don't like that.
I don't. It's too close to her.
Well, she's sitting there with a gunshot wound to her chest with you there and Daly there. Isn't that fair to say?
Yes.
So then you touch the gun, right?
I do.
And then you move it to the white shelf, bookshelf.
Yes.
And then Core arrives. And
Yes.
then you tell Core to grab the gun and secure it, right?
I do.
And then Core has it. Does he take it into the hallway?
Maybe. I remember just focusing my attention on Kelsey.
Sure, understandable. So you're focusing on Kelsey and you're giving her first aid.
Yes. Well, Lieutenant Daly was starting to work on her.
Well, is it fair to say that at first you still had your gun on her, but then you helped with the first aid?
Yes. Afterwards.
So that was your primary focus, was once you felt that she was not a threat to you on your testimony, you started to assist with the first aid, right?
Yes.
And you and Daly are rendering first aid, and then Core comes, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you say, get that out of here, secure the gun.
Yep. Make it safe.
So it's fair to say that Core does that, but your attention is not on what he's doing, it's on rendering first aid, right?
That's correct.
So you don't have any knowledge or observation of what Core did with the firearm, right?
No.
At some point, are you aware that Core takes the green safe and the firearm out into the hallway?
I didn't see him do any of that.
This guy's got resting bitch face
So
for
you,
sure.
Exhibit 51. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
So Exhibit 51 is
Oh, good.
the left
a
side
good
of the
angle.
door frame where you say that Kelsey lunged, right?
That's correct.
Is that how it looked when she lunged over there?
I didn't see that when I was in the hallway.
Do you know anything about that shoebox with the orange lining?
I have no idea.
Is it orange? I thought it was pink.
Do you remember seeing that chest with the brown leather trim on it?
I thought it was an end table when I walked out of the room.
Do you think that the gun came from any of those areas there?
With how quick she grabbed it, I think it came from that box, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's where she keeps her service revolver. Sure.
Show you exhibit 36.
Back to the stairwell.
That's a picture of the stairway, right?
Yes.
It's pretty narrow.
Yes.
And you went up to the top and you were at that landing, right?
That's correct.
You never entered Kelsey's room?
No.
So you said that you were shocked that Kelsey was quickly grabbing a gun and putting it in your face,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you that she'd gotten the drop on you, right?
Yes.
And at that point, you feared for your life, you say, right?
Absolutely.
And you panicked and you shot her.
No.
Well, you missed her from just a few feet away.
It's hard to shoot a moving target or anything moving.
Are you aware of the Post Commission?
Yes.
And you know that the
Uh-oh.
Post Commission has issued regulations that are in the Code of Massachusetts Regulations.
Yes.
And you know that it's prohibited to use deadly force on a person who is exhibiting a danger only to themselves.
Absolutely.
And you knew that on June 30th, 2025, didn't you?
I've known that since I graduated the police academy in 2006 or even before.
Right.
Keeps
And you
bopping
went
his
in there.
hands.
Thinking that Kelsey was dangerous and had guns and you might get into it, right?
That's inaccurate.
And that's why you had your gloves on, isn't it?
No.
Ooh.
You were ready to get wet.
No.
I'm sorry, ready to get what?
Get wet, Your Honor.
Get wet. Grody.
And that's when you had to adjust the narrative, isn't that true?
No.
So you're going to maintain that you got into a gunfight with somebody who was your colleague, right?
Yes.
Who had just given you her baby to feed 5 minutes earlier
Yes.
of her own volition.
Yes.
She developed some sort of a homicidal animus towards you for what Justin Elaine just did to her, right?
I don't think it was unbeknownst to me. I didn't know Justin was in the house. I think.
How
it
did
was
you not
the
know
major
that?
Way for her to get downstairs and kill Justin.
What? What? Look at her face. Look at Kelsey's face. She tried to murder him in his bitch face. Look at her face. Kelsey's like, I mean, they're laughing. This is ludicrous. This is absolutely ludicrous.
In hindsight.
Hindsight. Yep.
Please, one moment, please, Your Honor.
Take your time.
She wanted to get through me to get downstairs to murder Justin. Oh my God.
Did you have a taser?
I did.
Why'd you use it?
Did you think maybe to use the taser when she pulled the trigger and the gun didn't go off?
No. You meet deadly force with deadly force.
She's 3 feet away from you?
Yes.
Could have just grabbed her, couldn't you?
No.
And if there was deadly force, you wouldn't have stopped at 2 shots, would you? You would have emptied that magazine right into her.
I stopped when she stopped. And that's what I'm trained to do. Stop the threat, not empty a mag.
What were some of the things that she asked you to bring downstairs?
I think there was a basket of books, and I believe some clothes. I think she put them in a car seat.
What did you say to her when she
Thanks,
asked
Cynthia.
you to bring them downstairs?
I said we'll deal with that later, and I put them down.
What was her reaction?
She just kept packing stuff.
This right here, Dot. He said both. I didn't know Justin was here, and she was trying to get downstairs to
said
kill
that
Justin.
You were,
I wish Bradl had picked up
so
on
you
that.
started your career in the North Andover Police Department, correct?
That's correct.
And you left for the Lawrence Police Department in what year?
2011.
And then you were on the SWAT team from 2019 to 2024, correct?
That's correct.
And that you left North Andover to get a faster pace, right? What do you mean by a faster pace?
Busier. Are you talking about when I left North Andover to go to Lawrence, or?
Yes.
A busier atmosphere.
More action.
More calls for service.
For what, I'm sorry?
Calls for service.
Semantics.
I wanted more experience.
And you were there for how long?
In Lawrence?
Yeah.
From 2011 to 2024.
2024, you go back to North Andover, correct?
Yes.
And you said that you wanted to bring your training and experience back to where it all started, right?
Yes.
Meaning you wanted to offer officers at North Andover the benefit of your training and experience, correct?
Correct.
You said that you only have 10 years left, getting older, a slower pace is what's needed, right?
Yes.
So
He's a cowboy.
is it fair to say that the stress of a busy urban department was getting to you?
No.
Well, you did tell Kelsey that you had PTSD, didn't you?
Absolutely not.
What? And don't be so offended by PTSD, you
So
jack
slower
smack.
pace, and you just wanted to grace the department with your training and experience, correct?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Judge, I told counsel that I would ask for a sidebar before the next topic.
Mm. Sidebar. All right. How are we feeling about all this? Holy shit. I think he's lying. I think that going back to the dry fire, I think that is the made up part of the story. And I think that he freaked out. I think he saw Kelsey had a gun in her hand, and I think he shot her, even though she was attempting to unalive herself. Yeah. The disdain with which he just said now when Bradl was like, Kelsey said that you told her you had PTSD from your time in Lawrence, which would make sense. Lawrence is a wild place. Mm, Amanda said, "Come on, Mel, please. PTSD would make him a whack job. Wouldn't want that now, would we?" I still can't get over the fact that all these men in these positions of authority are just running around calling women whack jobs, whether they are their coworkers like Kelsey was, or whether they are a defendant like Karen Reed was. I'm just like, the misogyny, it runs so deep in law enforcement in Massachusetts, and I'm sure across the country, but we just are seeing it on display here in all these trials. Like, what a fucking asshole. Ugh, so mad. I'm so mad. This point that Dot made, though, I thought was really, really important. I understand that he said in hindsight, but the idea that he's like, I didn't know Justin was in the house, which I find incredibly unbelievable because first of all, I feel like, I guess it was Houston and Daly who met Justin in the lobby with his sister while they were waiting to come over to Kelsey's house. But there would have been a brief. There's no way Daly wouldn't have briefed the officers that were with him to say, "Hey, just a heads up, Justin's gonna come over and might get a little wild," or something along those lines. Like, you cannot tell me that Noonan didn't know that Justin was coming over. That doesn't make any friggin' sense at all. Um, yeah, I wish that Bradl had picked up on that, but then some people are saying he said in hindsight. So I don't know, maybe that he did pick up on it and it was a hindsight kind of thing. Um To be fair, the only way, D Cool said, to be fair, the only way this story makes even a lick of sense if she was trying to get downstairs to hurt Justin, I'm assuming also in the face. Yeah, I guess she wanted to first murder Noonan in the face and then get downstairs and murder Daly in the face and murder Houston in the face and also murder Justin in the face. And then I guess her mom and the baby would be spared. But obviously this whack job was on a homicidal rage tour, so wow. Um, yeah, PTSD is not a moral failing, Noonan, you misogynist dickwad. Sorry, I was adding to Cynthia's comment. We need new stickers. We do need new stickers. I'm gonna have to send some of this stuff over to Rebecca. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. It's definitely just conjecture, but Cynthia said, "Does anyone think that Noonan and Justin knew each other before all of this? Apparently, the alien family is very well connected with law enforcement in several cities in the area." I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Everyone's degree of separation, you know. Let me see if I can speed up a little bit here and get through this. Sidebar. Sidebar. All right, we're at 3 times speed. See if this goes a little bit faster. Ooh, this is spicy. Bradl's doing a great job. I think Aiden is probably very happy that he is his attorney. I cannot wait to see that trial. That is going to be a clusterfuck of drama, and I'm here for it. I think this guy is lying to himself and therefore at the end of the day is lying about what happened. I don't necessarily think he is trying to I think he's convinced himself that Kelsey is a monster and that he was stopping a monster. And I think that's how he sleeps at night. So, oh, I love it. I have my Nasty Women Unite coffee mug, decools, who said, "I would love a whack job shirt to go with my 10-year-old nasty woman shirt if you're looking for merch ideas." Yeah, I love this. Oh, we're back. We're going really fast here. Hold on. Playback. Let's get everybody sat. Kelsey is talking to Bradl again, giving him some pointers about the story. Turtle Boy said that Justin's mom is from a huge cop family that has a park named after them, Braceland. Oh, that's what was the Wi-Fi password. Yeah, Kitty on the beach says.
As I stated at Sidebar, we should discuss in open court what was raised at sidebar, which we will do outside of Officer Noonan's presence. So we're going to take a break so that Officer Noonan can step down. In the meantime, I want to direct this to the folks, the audience members. In case you weren't here yesterday, you should know there should be no recording, audio, video, photographs by anyone at all other than our couple of media representatives that have expressed permission, okay? If you are caught doing so, you will be removed from this courtroom and the courthouse and told not to come back, okay? Do we understand each other? Thank you.
Yep. Yes,
We'll take
Judge.
a break.
All rise.
All right, so we're taking a break, but just to get Noonan out. So I think we're going to stick with this. Let me speed it up. Or maybe not. Oh, come on, y'all. We wanted to hear what was going on. Why wouldn't they be talking? Let me see if I can speed this up a bit. Nope. We're not going to get to hear what they're talking about. That sucks. Okay. All right, let's just briefly talk about there's some logistics questions I have about this. Okay. So, from what we saw in the surveillance video, Kelsey's in the house with the baby. Daly, Houston, and Noonan show up with the restraining order. We see them approach the door. She answers the door holding the baby. They go into the living room. She puts the baby in the little wheelie carrier thing and then sits down on the couch to talk to them. They explain to her what's going on. She calls her mother in that moment. If you'll remember, Daly testified that on the phone, she said to her mother, they're going to take my baby. They're going to take Caden. And he clarified that they're not going to take the baby, that Justin is going to take the baby. Her mother then comes over. So I would assume maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. I don't know if that is the time where I assume that's the time that Kelsey starts gathering up everything and going upstairs. So when the mother gets there, Houston hands the baby off to the mother. And then shortly after that, Justin and Courtney, his sister, show up. And then but the testimony says that Kelsey is downstairs in the room with them and says, don't you want to hold your baby do you want to hold your baby? This is your baby. Do you want to hold your baby? Justin holds the baby for 50 seconds, hands the baby off to Courtney, who walks out. Justin follows her. So at this point, see, this is where the testimony really gets screwy for me and the timeline. Because if Kelsey is in the room saying to Justin, don't you want to hold your baby? This is before the baby has been taken out of the house, which means Kelsey isn't upstairs yet, which means Noonan knows Justin is in the house. Right? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Like, that's what happened here, right? So basically, Justin follows Courtney out. He has the baby, the car seat carrier with him. When he comes back into the house, he goes into the basement, which is when Kelsey is upstairs with Noonan. Because we know that Justin hears the gunshots when he's in the basement, and that's when he runs and he slips and does the pirouette and is like fleeing for his life. So Noonan knows that Justin is in the house. The judge knows this. Like, if I know it, the judge knows it. So yeah. And yes, Dot, you're absolutely correct. She told Noonan to, like, she doesn't want Justin anywhere near her, like, get him out of here, all that. So Noonan's lying, right? Because didn't he say, I didn't know Justin was in the house? Cindy, I don't know what Cindy said, did I miss what happened with Noonan right now? I don't know. There was a sidebar. It didn't seem like anything really impactful, but they obviously are talking about it right now, and we are not allowed to hear it, and Noonan had to leave the courtroom. So I don't know. I wish that we could hear it. I'm not sure why we can't. Maybe it has to do with the people that keep, like, sneaking into the courtroom when they're not supposed to be there. The alien family, for one. Casey said, so he knew there was a woman downstairs causing a scene, but he didn't hear or see Justin. What was he in the separate wing of the house? Come on, tactical training doesn't involve surroundings. That's what I just broke down, is that he knew that Justin was in the house because Kelsey said, don't you want to hold your baby before going upstairs? Am I wrong about that? Am I reading that wrong? Y'all tell me. Justin did come earlier to get his own guns. He left Kelsey's guns all over the place. Okay, that's where I'm confused. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. Everyone knew Justin was there. So Anna says, or Anna, not sure, said the hold your baby comment happened when Justin came a different time to get his guns. Okay, that's why I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, thanks for clarifying. I was definitely having a Deaver moment. Sorry. Deaver. Yes, Kelsey kept saying, I don't want Justin to be here. Get Justin out of here. And that's the other thing. I mean, going back to this was so many bad calls, specifically on Daly's part. The idea that someone took out a restraining order against somebody else and you invite that person who's supposed to be terrified for his life of Kelsey into the house. The fuck is wrong with these guys? You know what it is? It's because she's this teeny tiny little blonde woman who's like, I think she's like 5'2" and probably weighs about 100 pounds soaking wet. And they're like, we got it. Crazy whack job. We'll take care of her. Don't worry about it. Come on in, Justin. Ugh. All the women are whack jobs, causing scenes and causing everyone to flee various scenes, Kitty said. Spicy is coming. I would agree with that. Why are we sitting here on this little gray screen? I'm annoyed. She probably heard his sister and knew Justin was there too. I don't think they hid it from her. I think that if I remember correctly, didn't Daly say Justin's going to come over and get the baby? And actually, no, we know that for sure because in the testimony, he said he corrected her when she was on the phone and said, we're not taking the baby, Justin is. So everyone knew Justin was going to be there. Everyone. Ugh. I do not like close-up of the floor cam decals. I do not like it. I do not like it at all. I want to hear what's going on. Maybe I should become a lawyer so I can hear what's going on. If I was a lawyer, I could be sitting in there and listening to what's going on. This is spicy today, y'all. So spicy. I love it. I know this is why Rebecca likes this kind of shit because she loves some soap operas. This is some soap opera shit right here. And I just cannot get over that Bradl said she tried to murder you in your face. I added she tried to murder you in your bitch face, but you know. I'd rather have the brick wall if I'm being honest, because at least with the brick wall, you had the occasional American flag like breezing into the frame. That was kind of nice. Give us OnlyFan. That's true. Then I wouldn't be able to yap with you guys about it. Dot. You're right. They might be on a pee break, but I don't know. Well, the judge said it was going to be a sidebar. Yes, Rebecca would absolutely be loving this trial. She's going to have to go back and watch these streams and watch the trial. Oh, here we go. I think we're coming back. I saw movement. Oh my God. I hope that this cross is over before I have to go. I am not going to want to have to leave. Yeah, we will definitely, Kitty, we will definitely do a deep recap with Rebecca when she's back. She would love to be here. It's interesting because when she first heard about this case, she didn't really think there was much to it. And then when she started, like when we started talking about it on the show and I was like digging into some of the details of it, she got her interest was piqued. And now she's into it, but she's sunning her ass someplace sunny outside of here. Okay, I think maybe we're getting close. Now it's just someone standing in front of the camera, I think. Not really sure. Come on, y'all, hurry up. I have someplace to be in an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm gonna need you to Get on this, Bradl. Meanwhile, I'll just keep chugging my caffeine. How's everybody doing? Are you drinking water too? I'm drinking water, just to be clear. I've been drinking water all morning. Is everyone staying hydrated? Are we good? Feeling good about everything? Happy to be here. I love that 74 people are here right now. That's really nice. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment, and share, because more people will be here and we can talk about this with more people, and the algorithm shifts and it helps us and all that stuff. I wonder if the sidebar is about Noonan's medical conditions. Interesting. Wild West Willie. It could be, I guess, medical information. Maybe that's why he responded the way he did. Not that he was like offended that someone would think he has PTSD, but maybe he actually has PTSD and he's offended that they would be talking about it in an open court. Maybe that's what happened. I'm not really sure. As someone who um suffers from complex PTSD, I don't have any issues with someone talking about it, but maybe this big burly misogynist man does. Who knows? Oh, thanks, Kelly. Ooh, I'm so glad you're here. It's not just my channel, it's Rebecca's channel too, but she's on vacation right now, so it's just me. Oh no, are you kidding, Cynthia? Cynthia said, "Oh my God, I just checked the chat on Court TV and they all think Noonan is calm and truthful and they totally believe him and think Kelsey is guilty." Well, I mean, that is also the Court TV audience. I think a lot of people would lean that way who watch parts of Court TV. Dot to Cynthia said, "Cynthia, say psych right now." I mean, I get it. There are going to be the true blue believers, right? So there are going to be the people that will always believe what the cops say. And then there are going to be those of us who don't necessarily trust cops, and so we take what they say with a grain of salt, or we really think about, our conclusions before jumping to conclusions about what cops say and think happened. I love cops. I love some cops. I don't love all cops. Some cops are very dirty and I don't like that. We saw a lot of dirty cops in the Karen Reed trial. We're seeing a lot of dirty cops in Sandra Birchmore. We're seeing a lot of shoddy police investigation in Corey Richins, in Edric Faust. Like, I covered on the In Between podcast in a long form series about Veronica Rodriguez. I have my suspicions about how cops tell stories. And I think, yes, but Kelsey is a cop too. Great point, Cindy. But my point here is this back the blue boy cop mentality. I don't believe Noonan because he's male. That makes me question him even more, because I do think there is this inherent guilty conscience when you, as a cop, when you harm either a suspect or someone who's not a suspect, however, whatever it might be, your first instinct is to justify the violence. And once that's your first instinct, once your first instinct is to say, well, they were pulling a gun, well, they were running, well, they were talking back to me, well, she wanted to put clothes on before we took her to the police station, and you hurt any of those people, your first instinct is to say, I was justified to do so because I am a cop and they were doing these things. So you're trying to erase the guilt. And I think that's what's happening here. I think that Noonan feels very guilty. He does have post-traumatic stress. Even if he isn't diagnosed with it, having the experiences that he's had as a cop for 24 years, you can't not be affected by it. If you're not affected by it, you're a psychopath or a sociopath, whichever one it is. I'm not a doctor or a lawyer or a cop. I'm just giving my opinion. But what Kelsey and Noonan saw together with the mother who unalived herself and then also unalived her baby, that doesn't just go away. And it's a fresh memory. And of course, there is post-traumatic stress for everybody involved. And as a man, I don't want to speak for men. As a cop, I don't really want to speak for cops either, but I feel like as cops, their first instinct is to justify the violence by saying, They weren't following orders. They weren't doing what I was asking them to do. They pulled a gun. They were running. They wouldn't show me their papers. And so in order to alleviate the guilt, they try to justify it. I think it's a normal human reaction to some extent. But when you're in a high-powered, high stakes kind of job like this, you got to justify your actions. That's what he's doing. I think that's what I mean, I would think that this judge understands that. So I think he's taking all this testimony. Oh no, I have a yawn. Ah. Also, I have a burn. I was cooking. Can you guys see that? It's really bad. It's one of the worst burns I've had ever. I was cooking homemade pizza for the kiddos and it had pepperoni on it. And I took the pizza out of the oven and there was one of those little pools of pepperoni oil and I banged the pan or something and the oil jumped up and landed on my hand and it's an oil burn and it's one of the worst burns I've ever had. And so if you see it and I look like a leper, I'm not a leper. I just have a burn. I don't distrust cops just because they're cops, but I do distrust mass cops these days, Cynthia said. D. Cool said, I mean, who wouldn't believe a tiny woman with a newborn would become a Power Ranger in the middle of a tiny cluttered bedroom? He did just, Mary said he described her like Lara Croft. Yeah, seriously. Is this the Julie Grant effect? Maybe. Let's see. You guys think that we're taking a break? I don't know. Yeah, I think that you're talking about Julie Grant about the Court TV stuff, TC Nerd. It could be. I mean, yeah, she was something else, that Julie Grant. It is interesting, Cynthia, that both the Karen Reed and the Kelsey Fitzsimmons cases involve cops against cops. Cops covering for cops. I mean, that's the thing. That thin blue line, it's a lot thicker than we think it is. Let's see. Can we speed this up a little? Nope. We must be on an actual break. Right? Let's see if we can up the quality here. I wish that there was closed captions, but there are not. Okay. D. Cool says the bedroom being messy makes his story deeply unbelievable. There just isn't enough room for the acrobatic. Mary said, is Julie Carr the one that was just let go from Court TV? She was very anti-Karen Reed. Yes, she is. I think Julie Grant's now doing a show with Coffin Daffer, who they are sisters from another mother. And they both, to me, it feels like they both try to use their social presence to get clicks by basically saying the opposite of the popular opinion and then using their background and history, although some people question Coffin Daffer's background as an FBI agent, ex-FBI agent, to bolster those, clickable anti-whatever it might be ideas. That's what it feels like to me. It's very much, they fit in very well with the Coven, if you know what I mean, and the McAlberts. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's a sidebar too, but it's going on for a long time. And I guess it's because the gallery is, the audience is still there from the gallery so that that's why we can't hear it. But the struggle is Teal says, I love how much Rebecca hates Coffin Daffer. Always cracks me up how she talks about her. Yeah, Rebecca has some strong opinions about Coffin Daffer. And I think also Julie Grant and Nancy Grace and other such folks. I have those feelings about Nancy Grace, which is why I was actually really happy they put Nancy Grace in the Nightline special that I did for them because I feel like Nancy Grace made me and Matt and everybody on our side look really sane and like we knew what we were doing, which we do. But Nancy Grace like really bolstered that. Like putting her on opposite of anybody, you seem like the most sane, rational human being in the world. So that was really nice to see that they got Nancy Grace for that. She Dot said she intentionally, I assume, called her Coffin Dander for like a year. Honestly, I thought that's what her name was. I used to call her Coffin Dander too because Coffin Daffer, that seems a little much. Seems a little much for me. Um, I wanted to find let me see if I can find oh, Mary Carr said, maybe you'll know the answer to this. What's her puss? Krusty, I think, posted something about Kelsey having a record in North Carolina that's not true. Yes, she did. We are talking about the Kate Peter, who posted on Twitter that basically Kelsey has a history of doing this. She's violent. She's all these things. She should have never been a cop, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people kindly pointed out, or maybe not so kindly, to Kate Peter that she was wrong, that maybe she should do a little bit better research next time, that was not Kelsey Fitzsimmons, which come on, guys. Kelsey Fitzsimmons is a pretty like uh it's not an original name, you know what I mean? So there were probably a million Kelsey Fitzsimmons out there. And she picked one in North Carolina who had a record of like violence and assigned it to our Kelsey Fitzsimmons here in Massachusetts. And she got it very wrong, as far as I've heard. Maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I heard, it was not the same person. But I don't know. She did not have a history of murdering people in the face, though. Decals, that's for sure. Let's see. Okay, I thought that Emily C posted this really funny. Here it is. I found it. Okay, let me share this really quick. Oh, stop sharing. So many little buttons to get through just to share something. This is what Emily C said that Kelsey would have had to be like in order for this story to make sense. That's about right. It's about the size of the room, and there's even less furniture in this room. She's funny. I love Emily C. Okay, let's get back to see what's going on with the trial. Still on a gray screen. Oh, they are taking a break. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. Brennan. Okay, well, I'm going to step away for 5 minutes because I need to take a pee break myself. I'm going to leave the feed up with the sound on in case they pop back in. I will just not be on the screen with y'all, but I will be back. I cut myself off. I will be back momentarily.
Okay. All right, just for the record, Officer Noonan is not in the courtroom, correct? No. Okay, and Mr. Bradl, do you have additional counsel sitting with you?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to introduce my attorney, Julie Best.
Okay.
They're attorneys that are working with us in the probate court. And I wanted to ask if it'd be all right if they were up here because they've been assisting us with various factual matters. Would that be all right with the court if they sit here?
Commonwealth, you take a position?
No, but if they file appearances in this case.
Yeah, I think you'll have to file these limited appearances for the day, that's fine. And let me just, let me get your names. I'm sorry, your names again?
Julie Hess, Hess.
And you?
Ryan Hunter, LEONART.
Okay, welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, so let me just discuss what we were, or just raise what we were discussing at Sidebar. So Mr. Bradl came to Sidebar, asked for permission to explore three areas on his cross of Officer Noonan. The Commonwealth reminded me that this topic or topics are addressed in a motion in limine that the Commonwealth filed prior to trial that I deferred ruling on, which is paper 62, Commonwealth's motion in limine to prohibit questioning regarding current duty status. Mr. Bradl, let me just start by paraphrasing what I think the three areas are.
Yes, sir.
And then you can tell me. You wish to explore three areas on cross with Officer Noonan on the grounds that the areas could show or do show that he was offered promises, inducements, or rewards for his testimony. Right? That's the theory. The first being, generally speaking, that he was not drug tested after the shooting. Is that what you're saying?
That's
Okay.
right, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry?
It was a town policy, it's a town policy that if there's a serious incident, that the town would drug test the officers involved.
Okay, so number two, and I may not have these in the order that you raised them. Number two was that essentially you allege Officer Noonan missed a shift sometime after the shooting. Perhaps it was, let's say, medication related, generally speaking. And number three, that Mr. Noonan, strike that, Officer Noonan allegedly was placed on administrative leave, but allowed to work details, and that you believe that to be in violation of some policy or CBA.
Yes, Your Honor. You're either a policeman who can work or you're a policeman who can't work. And you can't be performing details in uniform as a policeman while
Okay.
you're out on critical incident leave because you can't work.
All right. So generally speaking, we did address some of this pre-trial in the sense that there was a Rule 17 motions, right, by the defense to get Officer Noonan's IAD files from Lawrence and North Andover PDs, which I believe Officer Noonan agreed, which is really unprecedented in my view, agreed to provide a waiver for him to get those. So, Mr. Bradl, so did you get the files that you were seeking, the IAD files?
Yes.
Okay. And so let's just go through each point. The first point about the alleged, well, let me say this, is I stand by what I said. The Commonwealth argues that these areas or these questions strike that, that there's no view of the evidence that could show that any of these three things would be promises, inducements, or rewards under our rules, because whatever the North Andover Police Department did, they did as a product of their own administrative duties, and has nothing to do with the prosecution team. And there were no promises made in exchange for his testimony. So I'm sure that Ms. Moriarty could articulate that much better than I did. But let me try to cut to the chase. I agree with the Commonwealth, as I said before at the Rule 17 hearing. But I think arguably, and I want to hear you folks, that they could be asked, again, I need to drill down more, but they could be asked to show some kind of bias in the sense that North Andover Police, let's say, allegedly, and Officer Noonan are trying to curry favor with one another in lieu of their testimony, in lieu of his testimony here. Okay, let's just say arguably for a moment. But let's just go back now, Mr. Bradl, what's your basis for saying that, for alleging that he wasn't drug tested and that there's some policy, or does the Commonwealth concede?
The Commonwealth concedes he wasn't drug tested, but that the Commonwealth position is that that's not a policy, that there's no violation of any policy, because the collective bargaining agreement policy trumps the general personnel policy of the city. And so, in that way, there's no potential conflict of interest. Something else.
Yeah, please. Sure.
I think, again, it's supposed to trump the word.
This is a little wild.
Provided grand jury testimony and a recorded interview to the Commonwealth, days and then in August. And all of these incidents happened well subsequent to that.
I understand.
And there's no claim that Officer Noonan has substantially changed his testimony from what he stated in grand jury or what he told the police on July 3rd. So again, there's no plausible showing or consideration in exchange for his testimony that has been remarkably consistent since July 3rd.
It's not remarkably consistent.
Remarkably consistent?
Yes.
So I don't think that's really the issue right here.
No, it is, because the Commonwealth raises a good point. So even
Can I
on
take a crack at
well,
the
even
other
on-
side of it?
No, even on my theory, and just give me a moment. Even on my theory that arguably, let's say that each side, again, not the SPA's officer, the prosecution team under Rule 14, but let's say the police department and Officer Noonan are trying to curry favor with one another. Ms. Moriarty does make a valid point that there still needs to be some showing that he's changed his story.
Sure.
He has.
I know that's a familiar topic that we all use in this area. Oh, they didn't change their testimony. That's not this. Here's
Come on.
why. This is a reward. It's after the fact. They're giving him rewards for his cooperation to keep him happy.
Right.
So he does well. So he's economically enriched. So
Oh.
he's treated nicely, and it's a reward. That's why that doesn't apply here, Judge. He is being rewarded for his continued cooperation. It's not the typical one that we often deal with.
No, but
We're watching
let me
Bradl.
just push back on that. So he's cooperative, but does his testimony? But he gave I think this is what I heard, is he gave a recorded statement to the state police a few days after the shooting, right? So he's being rewarded for cooperation. What, for doing his legal duty? That is, show up when he's summoned to testify in open court.
I think the fact that there's a legal duty attached to someone testifying doesn't eliminate the fact that you can be rewarded for what you're doing. You can get special treatment outside the rules. And I think that goes to the heart of cross-examination, where if someone has a rule made up just for them, that they can be a cop on a detail, they don't have to be on the schedule because they're out on leave because they can't perform their job. That's a remarkable, unprecedented, in my research and investigation, an unprecedented accommodation.
Well, is it unprecedented or is it legally binding part of the CBA?
No, it's in violation of that.
Okay, so I don't, go ahead, Ms. Moriarty.
Judge, I'm frankly less concerned about this issue where you're the fact finder. I think it's the right thing to do is to keep this as we would treat any other witness, where it doesn't matter what employment decisions of more handle police and Officer Noonan have, but that's the employment decisions just like IA files are not part of the prosecution team, not part of the court team. More handover from Thomas Officer Noonan, something without the approval of the district attorney's office. So I think that again, that interplay, if there is any interplay there, has nothing to do with Officer Noonan's testimony here today.
Okay, but Mr. Bradl says that this absence of drug testing was in contravention of the CBA.
I don't think he hasn't brought forward the CBA. He has no basis to ask you questions.
All right, so Mr. Bradl, let's move on to the second point. Your second point is that Mr. Noonan, Officer Noonan, allegedly missed a shift related to some medication.
This is when he overslept because he was drugged up.
I mean, I know more because you've articulated at Sidebar, but we don't need to rehash that. And you're saying, I think somewhere in your paperwork, that as a result of that missing the shift, I think you referred to it as AWOL, he received a written reprimand as opposed to some more significant action, adverse action. Correct? Is that generally what your theory is?
Generally, yes, Your Honor, with a little more elaboration if I could.
Please.
So we've had a number of whistleblowers from the department
Oh.
approach us with information. And as a result of that, I will proffer to the court that I have a good faith basis to assert that.
Hold on. Something's happening in the courtroom. Did you also just see that? I'm just going to go back just a little bit. I think it's about to be addressed. But let's just see what just happened.
Related to some medication.
Watch the cop standing to the right of Bradl, and then Kelsey turns around.
Articulated at Sidebar, but we don't need to rehash that. And you're saying, I think somewhere in your paperwork, that as a result of that missing the shift, I think you referred to it as AWOL, he received a written reprimand as opposed to some more significant action, adverse action. Correct? Is that generally what your theory is?
Generally, yes, Your Honor, with a little more elaboration if I could.
Please.
So we've had a number of whistleblowers from the department approach us with information. And as a result of that, I will proffer to the court that I have a good faith basis to assert that.
To assert generally what
I won't say
your sources. Yeah. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make sure that
Something's happening in the gallery.
That no witness's reputation is attacked and destroyed for on an illegal issue that I end up denying. All right. So I'm not saying that that's the case here, but let's just say, okay, let's skip you have a good faith basis to ask this. Okay. You say you have a whistleblower, et cetera. So you're saying that this again shows what? That he's receiving favorable treatment?
Rewards for his continued cooperation. That's correct. That doesn't have anything to do with changing his testimony or not changing his testimony. That he's being lavished with rewards. He is.
Something's going on.
That this, and I won't say anything relative to any of his conduct, but
something's going on.
This reprimand letter was not going to.
Sorry to interrupt this, guys, but I've been watching the cop and Kelsey turn around, and as soon as Bradl started talking about whistleblowers, somebody in the gallery started making noise or coughing or doing something, and then everyone started paying attention to them. So I don't know what's happening, but that cop is very concerned about somebody that I think is somewhere behind Kelsey.
The issue, and that at some point it was sort of a after the fact thing that it was in fact issued for appearance's sake, and that originally there was going to be no sanction whatsoever and no exploration into the, and I won't say it, but the reasons why he missed his shift.
Okay, so let's say there that the proposed question is, Officer Noonan, isn't it true that on such and such a date, you know, you overslept because of some medication, you missed a shift, you were deemed AWOL, and you only received a public a written reprimand when policy called for you to be subject to the death penalty. And so that's the question.
Right.
And he says yes, no, okay. Then what? Let's say he says no, that's not true.
Well, we have the letter, Your Honor. At minimum, we have that.
All right. So, all right. And then the last item is that he was put on administrative.
Guys, I'm going to switch to a different
leave
stream
and
because I think the audio is better.
details and
I'm going to go
violations of
to
policy.
Right.
Boston 25. Hold on
And
just
you're
a sec.
saying that that's an
I'll pick up where we need to be. And I'll rewind it just a little bit. Just give me a second here. Sorry. Where did it go? Is this the right one? Yeah, this is Boston 25. Okay. Sorry.
yes, no.
That's better. Okay.
Testimony and not change his testimony, that he's being lavish with rewards.
Okay.
He is, that this, and I won't say anything relative to any of his conduct, but that this reprimand letter was not going to be issued, and that at some point.
Sounds better,
it was
guys?
Sort of a after the fact thing, that it was in fact issued for appearance's sake, and that originally there was going to be no sanction whatsoever and no exploration into the, and I won't say it, but the reasons why he missed his shift.
Okay, so let's say there that the proposed question is, Officer Noonan, isn't it true that on such and such a date, you know, you overslept because of some medication, you missed a shift, you were deemed AWOL, and you only received a public a written reprimand when policy called for you to be subject to the death penalty. And so that's the question.
Right.
And he says yes, no, okay. Then what? Let's say he says no, that's not true.
Well, we have the letter, Your Honor. At minimum, we have that.
All right. So, all right. And then the last item is that he was put on administrative leave and allowed to work details in violation of policy.
Right.
And you're saying that that's an ongoing?
That's my information, Judge, is that he was working details, and
What's the source of your information?
another
Whistleblower.
And you know, they come to me in good faith, and you know,
And have you vetted these whistleblowers?
Yes.
Every time he says whistleblower, someone behind Kelsey does something in the
Listen,
gallery.
Frankly,
Watch the cop.
if this was a jury trial, and I realize I'm talking out of two sides of my mouth again, because I said yesterday we're going to treat this just like a jury trial. If this was a jury trial, this would be an easy decision. The decision would be not even close on your proffer, denied. The objection to this would be sustained. I'm going to allow one question each as to each of these areas. Mr. Bradl, you'll accept whatever the testimony is under oath to that answer to
Judge
that question.
pissed.
I'll just remind you, because I'm reminding you, I'm really saying this for our audience, not you personally, but I'll just remind counsel that questions of witnesses are not evidence. The evidence is their answers. So that's what will be used or could possibly be used in your closing argument. I'm going to allow one question each as to these areas, and you'll have to live with the answer that is provided under oath. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you need to speak with Officer Noonan about this before he returns to Commonwealth? Okay. All right. So he may resume the stand, Officer Noonan.
Judge is pissed. It sounds to me like Noonan, this is the incident where Noonan missed one of his shifts and the cops showed up at his door to do like a wellness check. And he was like, "Oh, sorry, I overslept." And he was on drugs of some kind of pain meds or sleeping pills or something like that. Bradl wants to ask him about that. And he also has reports from whistleblowers saying that, he basically was getting it easy at work, even though he was supposed to be reprimanded. So let's hear what happens here.
Mr. Bradl, you may continue your cross-examination.
Thank you.
You're about to get hit, Noonan. You're about to get hit. Oh, God, I have to leave in like 15, 20 minutes.
Sir, I want to ask you some questions about some of the treatment you've gotten by the North Andover Police Department since this incident. Sure. Okay. Now, after this incident, immediately after this incident, you were not drug tested by the town or the police department, correct?
No.
And you're aware that's a policy of the town?
That I don't know.
You don't know the town policy?
As far as the drug testing, no.
Now, you also
Looking at the judge.
are on critical incident leave right now, or words to that effect, right?
Yes.
And that means that you're not able to perform the duties of a police officer for the time being, so you get put on leave, right?
Yes.
And yet at the same time, you're being permitted to work as a police officer on paid details. Isn't that true?
Yes, that was our union.
Oh, it's just it's a yes or no question.
Yes.
And that is an accommodation that was made via a side, may I inquire, Your Honor, or?
We've already gone past one question.
Yeah, sustained. Next question.
That is something that is not ordinarily permitted, is it?
Sustained. No, you've gotten your answer. Okay. Mr.
Oh
Bradl,
my
next
God.
question.
All right. Now, you also were absent without leave from a shift recently, correct?
Back in January. Yep.
And with respect to
Hey,
that,
Wall.
there was a reprimand letter issued to you, correct?
That's correct.
And at first, that wasn't going to issue, was it?
Let me just hear the question. What I was really expecting was one long leading question each, but that's all right. You're breaking it up. Let me just hear the
That's
question.
fine.
Officer Noonan, please don't answer it
Yes,
until I hear it.
So
Go ahead.
the question, Judge, is that reprimand letter that appeared in your file was originally not going to issue against you, was it?
All right. That's the question?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to live with the answer.
Yes.
All right. Yes or no?
I have no idea. I was just called in one day to sign it.
Okay.
So I have no idea if it was or it was not.
So.
Okay, that's all I have then, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
In that area, you're not done with cross, right? I'm assuming that you're.
In that area, right,
All right,
in
thank you.
terms of rewards, Judge, that's all I have.
Bradl's like, nah, I got a
Now,
few more.
I want to circle back on a couple of things. You gave a recorded statement to the state police on July 3rd, correct?
Yes.
And we talked back and forth about your belief or your expressed intent to section her, and you said that wasn't the case, right?
Can you ask that again?
Yeah, you said that there was discussion about sectioning her, but that wasn't your thought process.
Where
You
did
didn't
the
know about
sound
it,
go?
right?
When we discussed it, behind the school, it was brought up that she may not take this well. She may have to get sectioned. She was sectioned prior. So
So here you're saying that it was a speculative possibility. Is that fair to say?
it could have been a possibility depending on how she took the restraining order, respectfully.
Judge, if I may, I'd like to play a recording from the state
Uh-oh.
police interview from July 3rd.
For impeachment purposes?
Yes.
All right, any objection? Okay, sure.
Think he took any cyclobenzaprine while he was on break?
We need to mark it for ID at
Stay
least,
calm.
Unless you're seeking to admit it, but let's take it. a
I'm
step
just
back.
I'd be playing a prior inconsistent statement, Judge, for.
Okay. So we're gonna have to mark it for ID. I don't know, do you have a mechanism to be able to do that? Is it on a?
It's weird. The
drive
volume's
or
popping
something?
out in my right ear for some reason, or going too low in my right ear, but it's fine in my left ear. I'm glad you guys can hear it. That's all I'm concerned about.
If you're not
Man,
able
I'm
to
gonna
do
have to
so
leave soon.
Today, tomorrow morning, just please bring in the recording that's being played and we'll mark it.
Certainly.
Okay. All right.
Say had just taken out a restraining order and we were there to serve it. confiscate her firearms, and then we were going to section her.
Oh,
So that's what you said on July 3rd. that
then we
gonna
were
section her.
going to section
Yes.
her.
So at the time, you had it in your head that she was someone who needed to be sectioned, right?
If that's what I said in the statement, then yes.
In other words, somebody who was mentally ill and a danger to themselves or others, right?
Yes.
And that never panned out, right?
No, it didn't,
Because she was shot in the chest and went to the hospital for 53 days, right?
because she tried to kill me.
Oh, bullshit, dude. She did not try to murder you in the face. Get over yourself.
Now, I asked you earlier about whether or not you talked to Ms. Fitzsimmons about PTSD type symptoms. You recall that?
No, I don't.
You recall me asking?
Oh, you asked me,
today?
yes.
And isn't it true that you went on a call with her in August of 2024? That was a
There it is.
extremely difficult call involving a murder-suicide where the murder was of a baby.
Yes, it was horrific.
And you and Kelsey went to that call, right?
With other officers, yes.
And you had shared some texting after that, right?
Yes, I was being a senior officer trying to
Oh, fuck
help out a
off,
rookie
dude.
go through a traumatic event.
And your phone number, I don't want to give out the phone number, but it's fair to say that you had Kelsey had your phone number,
Yes, I think we were all in a group text.
and it's a 978. Just leave it there.
That's correct.
And so, in
That
that
was mine.
text, you said to Kelsey, relating to your past career, I spiraled down a rabbit hole, a very dark place.
Mm.
This happened years later in my career. We can speak in person about that. I have a guy I've been going to for years, like 10. And when I feel like I'm off, I call him, and all I have to say is, I need a tune-up, and he does me in. Right?
I don't recall that, but if that came from my number, then I had that conversation with her. I don't remember. that
Don't
at all.
lie, bruh.
Approach her. Yeah. I apologize if I do this on the cell phone. This just came up this morning. I can joke.
Mm. He is not comfortable about this. I mean, these men in Massachusetts, that cop, okay, look at that cop. She is still watching somebody in the courtroom behind Kelsey.
May I approach her? Yes.
Cops in Massachusetts, male cops in Massachusetts, they don't like to talk about mental health.
That's a.
This is my observation.
And that's your phone number and it says Noonan, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And
so
they don't want to admit when they have mental health
this is-
issues,
that's
and
a
all women
show.
are whack jobs, and they all need to be
And
sectioned.
you can scroll up and
That's
down
what
if
it
you
feels
want,
like to me.
but this is the black part is you and the blue part is Kelsey, right? You can get some context.
Wait, I'm in blue.
Kelsey's.
Oh,
blue
Kelsey's
and
in
you
blue.
being black, yeah.
Oh, now she's Kelsey, not Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
So can I just make an observation? So you asked the witness about this particular text, about essentially that perhaps he had therapy and needed a tune-up, et cetera.
Yes.
He said, his answer was, he basically is not contesting the
Yes.
authenticity of that. So what are we doing?
Well, it's tricky, Judge, from where I sit, it's tricky that when a witness says, well, if that's what it says, so I feel like I need to establish that's what it says, that's all.
Okay.
And so-
Fair enough.
And I think I can leave it there. Officer, is that what it says? What I
Yes,
suggested?
it does.
And so we agree that you communicated that to Kelsey?
Yes,
Breenan's deviated septum thinks it's a male thing
And
overall. Could
You can
be.
agree that that's
Which is
pretty
sad.
personal stuff
Mhm.
to share with somebody that you say that you didn't know very well, isn't it?
again, senior officer.
Bullshit.
She's going through a lot. I was just trying to be there for her. And that was one horrific call.
He cannot admit
And
that
we agree
they
that that's something that can
were
create
closer.
very profound bonding between officers when you have a common tragedy that you have to deal with.
Yes, but you move on. You go back to work.
Cannot admit any weakness. What is wrong with these guys?
I
Look at
wanna
his
go
jaw.
back to the bedroom where Kelsey's on the floor and you stop holding the gun on her. You assist Lieutenant Daly with first aid.
Yes,
Okay. And you were asked by the ADA, what did she say when she was on the floor? Recall that?
I don't remember that.
Yes or no, just the context of being asked that.
Maybe.
And see if this refreshes your memory. You said that she said,
Why?
it hurts. She said it hurts. I, meaning you, said, keep breathing. You have a baby to live for,
Yes.
right? And that was your testimony about what she said and what you said, right?
Yes.
And that was the truth?
Yes.
And that was the whole truth.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Now, when you were interviewed by Attorney Bennett of the CIC investigation,
Yes.
you painted quite a different picture, didn't you?
Uh-oh.
You had something to add that made you look good, didn't you?
No.
You said to Attorney Bennett, if I could have one moment, I just want to get this exactly right. Just need a moment, all right?
No problem, take your time.
Hipster Santa. Yeah, she's got to testify. I agree. Braden's deviated septum. She has to. I mean, I want her to. I think she should. I think if I were in her seat, I would probably want to do it too, because this is ludicrous. I want to know what's going on in the back of the courtroom, though, too. Anybody know of any folks on Twitter who are reporting, like tweeting out from the courtroom? Let me know. I've been looking, but I'm not seeing anything. Let me see. Kelsey. There's a ruling on that motion. Hot mic moment.
Page 11, the 80-something page report, 90 page report. With respect to the CIC report, you did say the part that she was saying it hurt. I told her to just keep breathing. Do you recall that?
Sure.
You have a son.
Sure.
You know you want to be here for your kid. Does that ring a bell?
I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry. You have a son. You know you want to be here for your kid.
Okay.
You said that to Mr. Bennett?
If it's there, yes.
Then you added something quite memorable that you didn't say here in court. Isn't that correct?
You tell me what's in it. I don't know.
You said that she reached up. She grabbed my hand. I held her hand, consoled her. And then I asked her, why? And she stopped talking and just literally just looked right through me, death stare.
If it's
That's
there,
what you
then
said.
yes. If it's there, that's what I said.
And you didn't say that here in court today, did you?
I didn't remember. Totally forgot about that.
Uh-huh.
You forgot about something.
It's very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Further on.
Oh, that was it?
I'm sorry. No more? You're done?
Yes.
Okay, redirect.
So I'm going to show you the previous remark exhibit number 57.
Speak up.
That,
Yes.
area that you put the gun,
Yes.
that officer portrait.
Yes.
You also stated just during cross-examination that you knew Ms. Fitzsimmons had been sectioned before. Correct.
That's correct.
And did you know that before the call?
I did.
Okay. And did that factor into how you were assessing the situation in the house?
Yes.
Did that factor into the team, you, Houston, and Daly, about the fact that you were never going to take your eyes off her?
That's correct.
Counsel had asked you about the first time you making a statement about what happened was July 3rd, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell anybody what happened before that?
Before?
I didn't hear that.
Oh, sure, I'll say it again. Counsel had asked you whether you had, the first time you made a statement about what happened in the room was July 3rd, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you tell Officer Core what happened?
I did.
Did you tell Lieutenant Daly what happened?
I did.
Did you tell Officer Houston what happened?
I did.
What did you say?
I said she tried to shoot me.
Thank you. Nothing else.
Objection, Judge, that's hearsay, and I have a motion to strike.
Okay, it's overruled. Do you have recross?
No, Your Honor.
Huh. Noonan's done.
I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not, Mr. Bradl, I'm not, I did not allow that last statement in for the truth, just for a state of mind.
Thank you.
And to rehabilitate as well. All right, no further questions for Officer Noonan from either side?
Get out of here, hipster Santa.
Take the silence as a no. Thank you very much. You may step down, and Commonwealth, you can call your next witness.
That was a big deal. Who's next?
I'm sorry, can we approach sidebar before the
Oh,
witness departs?
Before the witness departs, oh, you are almost out of here. You didn't
Whoa.
move quick. You didn't move fast enough. All right, yeah, we can go to
Christ, a sidebar. What do you think we're talking about now? Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys, with the static. I hate that sound. I'm glad that Kelsey's going up. I wish that Karen had known. I wish they'd brought Karen up, in trial 1. But I think Kelsey, I love this idea of the defendant being an integral part of their own defense. I know Karen really helped with her own defense, and I know that Pam Smart tried to help with her own defense, and Veronica Rodriguez tried to help with her own defense, but they were shunted aside as if they didn't know what they were talking about, even though it's their life and their story. But anyway, I love that Alan Jackson, David Unetti, Bob Alessi, Liza Little, and Karen were all a good team. And it seems like Kelsey is playing the same role here, and I appreciate that. Y'all, I'm going to have to jump off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it where we are. The judge does seem to be fair, Maria. I'm going to pause it where we are, and I'm going to pick it up, and we'll just play it in faster time when I get back, which will be in 2 hours. I am hoping that while I'm gone, the judge calls lunch, and that will take up most of the time that I'm gone. But if not, I will be back to go over everything that's happening from this moment forward. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much to those of you who have become members, and thanks to everyone who sent over a tip. And thanks to everybody who is liking and sharing and commenting on this video. Don't forget to like the video. I appreciate y'all. I do have to run just for a couple of hours. I promise I'll be back. I hate doing this. It feels like we're right in the middle of something here. But please come back and hang out with me hopefully after the lunch break. And I will see you on the other side.